Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. Just like that. Before we jump into our episode tonight, we do have some announcements to get through, beginning with our sponsor for this evening's festivities, SteamWorld Heist 2. Sam, tell us about it.
The sequel to the critically acclaimed indie video game SteamWorld Heist 2 is a hilarious turn-based tactical game that uses a unique ricochet gameplay mechanic that's kind of like playing billiards with guns. Pew pew, you ricochet shots off walls and ceilings. It's super fun. So while I tell you more, I'm going to challenge my fellow castmates to shoot me with Nerf guns. But the trick is you have to ricochet off of stuff that Robbie holds.
I've been dreaming of this.
Why do you have one now?
Because I'm next to Robbie and I'm terrified.
You could also do a double ricochet for more points.
Oh.
I don't think that's how this works.
That's not how any of this works.
Okay, whoever can ricochet the most and hit me wins.
You tell me.
I guess Talison's first. That's a nice, steady hand.
A little bit more of an angle.
Here
a little
we
bit more
go.
of an angle. A little bit more of an angle.
Wait till I start talking.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Get ready.
all doing it at once?
More of an angle. More of an angle. No, me first.
Wait. Get ready for an epic high-sea adventure with the highly anticipated sequel to the indie sensation.
Did it get you?
Nope.
Damn.
Next,
Don't dodge.
SteamWorld Heist. Take charge as Captain Leeway
do it.
and lead a ragtag. Wait, one at a time.
Liam.
Next is Liam, and lead a ragtag crew of steambots through an intense turn-based gunfight where bullets ricochet with deadly precision. A turn-based tactical strategy. Nope. You'll explore the Great Sea, find crew, upgrade abilities, go on heists, and find clues. In my cancer.
What is wrong with you?
A turn-based strategy game. You'll explore the Great Sea,
Ashley, go.
find crew, upgrade abilities,
Turn it
go on
towards him.
heists,
Face it at him. Face it at him.
Not the camera.
Sorry.
and find clues to what's causing steambots to corrode.
Right in the chin.
I'm getting good at this.
This is a handcrafted. This is a handcrafted, beautiful 2D world.
Damn.
With characters that seem familiar and batshit crazy. No.
Did it get you?
I want to get one. All right. Keep reading.
Look at him being all professional.
It's gotta be like
No.
almost correct.
And the music.
Weirdly, I don't think these are accurate.
And the music composed by Steam Power Giraffe. You'll be humming these tunes for days. Steam. Okay, I'm wrapping it up. SteamWorld Heist 2 is out now across all console and PC platforms. Plus, get a 10% discount on Steam
Ashley, do not.
until August 15th.
You got a welt forming on your mouth.
Aim, plot, and plunder at bit.ly/SteamWorld Heist 2. Oh, and don't forget to check out our SteamWorld Heist 2 Everything is Content. My hand! You read this part.
Protect you
Wait,
now. I'm
there's
gonna protect you.
Don't forget to check out our SteamWorld Heist 2 Everything is Content on Monday, August 12th, featuring Taliesin Jaffe and Ashley Johnson on Twitch, YouTube, and Beacon. What is happening?
More.
Featuring Taliesin Jaffe.
All right, let's graduate to D20s.
On Twitch, YouTube, Beacon.tv at 7 p.m. PST. Thank you, Thunderful, for sponsoring this episode. Matt, back to you.
Wow.
Okay, we all good?
All right.
Ceasefire.
Weapons down.
Right shot. You did this to yourself, Sam.
I didn't know it was gonna hurt that much.
I want to get shot with one.
We didn't test it beforehand.
Look at your face.
Oh my God.
Oh, so funny.
Beautiful molars.
I almost blacked out. I laughed so hard. My brain almost receded.
That's what the game's like.
Oh, wow.
I would say they took your filter away too, but you never had one.
Yeah.
Oh, all of our UK viewers are like fucking Americans.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Thank you so much for sponsoring us. Marisha, you're up.
The first episode of Moonward, a mid-role-playing story, dropped yesterday. Yes. It's so cool, you guys. This is a 4-part mini-series that is led by Zen, one of the co-creators of Midst, who creates the music, the sound, the atmosphere. It's all live while also guiding the story. They've got so many gadgets and guitar. It's crazy. You gotta watch it. They're joined by their fellow Midst creators, Sarah Weil and Matt Rowan, alongside Liam O'Brien and myself. We kick things off with a crew of unlikely associates that decided to mount an unsanctioned rescue mission to Midst Fallen Moon, discovering powerful forces that seek to stop them. Turns out the moon's valuable, so people have vested interest. Go check it out on YouTube, Twitch, and Beacon, and Midst.co. Plus, if you're a Beacon or Fold member, you can watch the first 2 episodes right now.
Spapitalism.
But wait, there's more. The remaining 3 episodes of the story will air on our new Midst YouTube channel. What? YouTube.com/Midst Podcast. Also on Twitch, Beacon, and Midst.co every Wednesday. So go check it out. Give the Midst YouTube channel a follow. It's greatly appreciated.
Hell yeah.
Support these indie creators, y'all.
Yes.
Liam, you're up next.
Oh, I'm actually very excited to talk about this. In celebration of Critical Role's 10th anniversary, next year in 2025, we have a new anthology coming this March with our friends at Penguin Random House. I have been wading through it for months at this point and loving it. Stories Untold includes 10 original short stories that feature the perspectives of 10 characters who fought alongside and against Vox Machina. There is such excellent writing. This collection is going to feature a foreword written by me with stories by 10 contributors, including Abria Iyengar, Sam Maggs, Martin Cahill, and just a whole host of incredible writers. I've been reading for months. Stories Untold will be... Oh, wait. Back it up. I want to call out the cover art is by Adrián Ibarra Lugo. It's gorgeous. Now I can move forward. Stories Untold will be available in hardcover, ebook, audiobook formats. You can pre-order your copies now wherever books are sold, or head to criticalrolebooks.com for all the details. I really have taken a lot of joy of seeing all of Matt's characters just sort of fleshed out further and watching them come to life and see what they were doing while Vox Machina was running around doing other shit. And it's just a really great project, and I can't wait for you guys to.
It's super freaking exciting. And I want to say real fast a quick thank you to all of those who came out and played games with us at Gen Con this last weekend. We had from For the Queen, Daggerheart, Candela Obscura, Till the Last Gasp, and Queen by Midnight. It was amazing to see so many of you out there together to tell and share stories around the table. Every year it's just so fun to watch the community come together, and I'm just very proud. So you can stay up to date on all things Darrington Press via our newsletter, our social media, or at darringtonpress.com. I think that concludes our announcements. So let's just go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Critical Role.
One by one we climb until we reach the top. 2 by 2 we fall. Will we meet our end or meet our destiny? Hold hold your breath and roll.
How do you want to do this?
It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery. Who knows what will happen? He might. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. From the healer to the renegade, we all share the same goal. Adding more allies, taking more chances. Hold your breath and roll.
You can certainly try.
It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery. From darkness, our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
And welcome back. So, last we left off, Bell's Hells, after trekking deep into the ruins of Aor, along with their guide, Essek Thalis, you encountered the strange demonic entity that was keeping the Vanguard at bay, Dominox, defeating it by pushing it through a gate into the abyss of its origin with the aid of Ludinus Deleth, who then gave you a vision through a relic that he had discovered not too far beyond that, of the fall of Aor, an era of Exandrian history spoken of but largely lost in its details, as it was, it seems, one of the darkest moments for the Pantheon. With the intent of showing this to the world to erode the faith of the people of Exandria, and in the hopes of finding a point of understanding with your group, the invitation was given to join the Vanguard and see the world the way he does. After much debate and some heated discussion, he left the offer in your hands and left an offer in Delilah's as well. Tossing a relic of enticing power towards Laudna, the words having hold in her heart, Delilah fought her way to the surface and wrestled control of Laudna. The rest of you were forced to do battle with your friend in what may be her darkest moment. But you managed to defeat Delilah, sending her back for the time being as but a shard of shadow within Laudna's spirit, likely, rapidly growing back. At this moment, satisfied with what you've learned, Essek took your group via teleport to a place of safety, the abode of his partner, Kate of Widogast. Here in this humble abode within the Dwendalian city of Rexendrum, you had a moment to breathe, a moment to absorb, though still more likely to come. In the midst of these conversations, debating what you've seen, what you've witnessed, what you've discussed, and what's to be done next, it was considered that this soul-anchored gem, now empty and bereft of its intended target, might have a secondary use to turn the tides of poor Laudna's fate. After talking with Essek about it and him looking to research its possibilities, he seemed to come to you with a bit of hope that it is indeed possible, though challenging. After coming up from his study, his laboratory, to all of you, saying that it could be done, but needs to be done quickly, likely before Delilah can begin to recover her former power in this subdued state. Time is of the essence, and began to draw you all back to the laboratory here in this late, late hour, as you stand exhausted, but hopefully driven to see this through. And so, here, as you all begin to follow Essek back into the laboratory where you arrived, you see him now, number of books even further scattered amongst the laboratory interior, but you see he's taken some time to organize some of the stacks into more solid towers. has a number of strange instruments kind of laid out across one of the tables, and runs over quickly to start kind of sketching out a larger runic circle than the teleportation one that brought you all here in the first place. Kind of in the quiet as you all stand there, as it begins the initial process, you all kind of can look and talk amongst yourselves.
Just for bookkeeping, we've been talking a lot here. Would you say we've short rested while eating cookies and discussing?
Yeah.
Hit dice.
I have none.
Yeah.
I'll still take the bells and whistles I get back.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes a short rest gets you, brother. All right.
Lana. Are you nervous?
Oh, I'm terrified. I'm very thrilled that it seems we have found a way to potentially do this sooner rather than later, and without it being by Ludinus's hand. I don't know. I think the thing that I'm most concerned about is who I'll be without her. If anyone is. I mean, it's her magic that's keeping me alive.
Yeah.
If this goes poorly, it won't go poorly. I trust you all.
Essek, Laudna is a really unique woman. Do you think that there's a way forward here that will keep her with us?
That is what I'm trying to do. You tell me. It is a risk, like all great and experimental magics are. If this Delilah is indeed a tether that keeps you here, then this ritual would keep you two tethered, but she would be bound within this anchor. Likely at your disposal.
I do love the sound of that.
In failure, the anchor becomes useless and she likely returns at her leisure, vengeful. If we fail entirely, there is always a chance that it does sever your tie, and both of you will be lost. So, knowing the risks involved, is it something you are still wishing to do?
Needs to be done.
Very well.
Oddly, I hope for either the best case or the worst case, because the middle option of her returning, well, that is the worst case.
Well then, let us do our best. He begins like hastily scribbling and like expanding this, looking over to a book for reference, and then trying to copy, and then erasing one of the serious kind of scrawled runes, and then redoing it with more care.
Just so we're clear, the options are you can separate and she comes back, or you both die?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they separate, they both die. What we're trying to do is find a way that they remain together, but...
You have control?
She's a, no more than a source of power for you.
Can you feel her right now? Is she awake?
She's weak, but she's in there.
Is she listening?
Do I get a sense that she knows she's listening?
Make an insight check. Actually, insight or perception, your choice.
Fucking heart is pounding. Perception.
Your choice.
Drinking this coffee is not helping. Ooh, icky. 9.
You are uncertain. You can just feel the faintest little thrum of her power, that cold core of shadow energy that's always lived in you since you woke up on the outskirts. So you know she's there, but that's all you know. Well, first, I must prepare the soul anchor. I would like aid from anyone here who has some experience with runic magics, arcane scripts.
Yeah, I've got like a natural vibe for it.
A vibe?
Yeah. I work with blood mostly, but I also just have I got a nose for this stuff.
To be honest, with your particular interest in blood magic, I might more recall you for the next step.
No.
Once the preparation of the anchor is complete, we will need to embed it within Lodna.
Ooh! That's a check!
Yeah.
Surgery!
I have some religious training, if that would help, or are you talking about magic stuff?
This is specifically arcana-based magic, so...
I don't know
I
if
guess
I
pray.
got zero zilches.
I have
negative.
I have a little.
I'm gonna go scrub in.
Yes, please.
Texts.
I'm not
what's your
that well
arcana?
versed. I can
Both
I
of
can
us are
read
plus
primordial. It depends
That's
on what
better
the
than,
texts are in.
Yeah, we can both try.
All right, then the two of you, come with me.
Okay.
And
I'm going to inspire you.
Oh, I feel so inspired.
All right.
I'm also going to inspire you.
Oh, wonderful. You picked up on that, didn't you?
That's what the pinky promise. Sorry, mine's a little bigger. You can have it.
I'm a grower.
little circle spire over here. Yeah. All right, so you
Cube no more.
you both as you walk with Essex, he glides over to one of the laboratory tables and sets the purple stone in the center of it. Flicks his wrist like this, and you watch the instruments kind of glide up in the air and then hold in place at different sections and just kind of float there. He takes one from the air and begins to kind of like magically chisel into it and change some of the runic elements of it. He pulls out a tome here and says, are either of you decent with copying text?
I've got beautiful handwriting.
I've got 3
I'll go with you on this one.
I'll take this one.
Kind of preps
But I'm
a few
an artist, so yes, I'm beautiful.
preps a few paths along the facets of this crystal, and then hands you this instrument. And it's this elongated brass instrument with a coil around it, and you can see it has its own kind of runic text among it. And as you hold it, it feels warm to your fingers within but a few moments, and at the edge you can see there's this kind of spectral chisel that almost seems to shift with your imagination.
Ooh, cool.
Wow.
Moving the book up, he goes, I will give you the order of these runes and where to place them. I need you to be as precise as you can with their inscription.
I'm going to just stand behind you and just encourage you and tell you when you're doing it wrong.
Oh, great.
Just like my dad.
So,
Oh, man.
I don't think I'm going to hear anything
so for this,
after that.
you can choose either an Arcana check or a straight dexterity check.
Oh.
Now-
Sleight of hand?
Now, mind you, this would be just actual manual dexterity or your knowledge of Arcana. You do have your Jack of all trades bonus to all of your stuff that you're not proficient with, I believe,
That's great.
as a bard. So, are
Definitely
you
beat Dex.
Dex over Arcana?
Yeah.
Even with Jack of all trades?
Well, let me check.
Jack of all trades doesn't go to straight dex. It just goes to the ability checks, right?
Well, it goes to ability checks. I'll double check.
But not to the base
And these aren't
dex
saving throws.
score.
These are just like the plus mods, right?
I mean, if we just need deft fingers, I've got that.
I'm plus. Plus 4 on Dex. That's one
I'm
of
sure
my-
he has way more than that.
Yeah,
but-
probably.
Here we go.
We are arcane.
So jack of all
people.
trades, you can add half your proficiency bonus to any ability check you make that doesn't already include your proficiency bonus. That would include a dexterity check.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sweet.
Can we stack a guidance on top of
So
that?
You can very well.
I'll guide. I'll
Plus
guide as
5,
well.
just a +2 then? Half?
Plus 5, so it's rounded down, right?
Rounded down.
Yeah,
Plus
so it'd be a plus 2.
So
it's a
He
6.
gets plus 6.
That's solid.
And a guidance.
And a guidance and a.
And a bardic.
And you're
Yeah.
helping with this, so that would
I'm
be
helping.
advantage on the roll.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
So many. That's good. That's good. That's good.
This up.
Don't
I have-
roll
Yeah,
two
yeah.
ones, basically.
So you watch as you place it down. You can see as Essig is both guiding this, Essig is also funneling magic from one of these other instruments into the back of this. And as it does, you can see that little spectral chisel at the end begins to become solid. Where you kind of place it, almost like glides into the stone itself and carves through. So he's running a lot of things of this and letting you kind of just guide the intricacy of it, so you can concentrate on the rest of it around you. And with your, how are you helping him?
Behind, as I watch him sort of guide the instrument around, every time he almost makes a mark, I'm like,
This isn't helping, actually.
no, I think that's right.
Okay. Is this better?
Are you sure you want to do that? Okay, good.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
No, it's good. It's good.
Thank
it's
you,
good.
thank you. I think I've got it.
All right, so
Yeah.
go ahead and roll.
I'm not even close to that
Backseat
card.
icon.
You go ahead and roll a dexterity check for you with advantage.
With advantage.
And you get to add your 6 to
And add a bunch of stuff.
It's great, already great. Okay, take the first one. Advantage dex 21 plus the 2, 20,
And take the
23.
Plus the-
Should I use it's what
Yeah,
it's what it's for, right?
Yeah.
And then also
You
you
can
have
use
her
guidance.
guidance.
Use
So if you want to
guidance. Don't
save,
use this one.
24, 30. Am I there yet?
and a D4.
And a D4.
No! No!
2, 32.
Okay, 25 was the DC.
Okay.
Very high.
This is a challenging ritual.
25 is the DC.
I'm just writing stuff with the magic pen with my mind.
Guiding every step of this way.
As the sweat beads down the sides of your face over the next 20-25 minutes.
With this.
Yes.
Okay.
Essek kind of gliding over and almost like a shadowed puppeteer and an odd reflection of how you've always imagined Delilah existing around Laudna, but this time it's a hopeful image. The sounds of the arcane device is kind of grinding through the stone, burning through the smell of what almost has like a wet metallic scent at times. Others it has like a soft sun ray on dust sort of a scent. As these things mingle through and the sounds happen, the rest of you kind of wait in quiet silence, the tension building, kind of whispering amongst yourselves and hoping this goes well. At a certain moment,
This is so much effort and I didn't want.
Laudna.
This is, you guys have already been through so much with me. I didn't.
Well, why
This
would
is
we
a
stop
lot.
now?
My stomach hurts.
Do you need to go poo?
Don't let what she's saying
remember
stress
it's
you
the
out.
right-
It's like a skull. Like once every, I have to climb down a tree once every month.
Spit out the dust ball with all your bones.
Owl pellet.
Yeah.
Boom.
Does.
Kids are dissecting
I'm gonna
them.
stand behind Laudna and just kind of rub her arms.
okay.
that back.
After nearly half an hour or so, the instruments go quiet, and you look down upon the stone in which the work, the scrolling, has been completed.
Did we? Is it?
It looks, to be perfectly honest, like very fine work.
Toy, that's great.
That's amazing.
You know, as a kid in all those penmanship classes, I was always like, why are we doing this? I'll never need this in the real world. And
This
here
is
we
the
are.
place. This is where it comes in handy. I felt the same about math.
All right,
We
so
did it.
We did it.
We did it.
well done. The first step of many is complete. Cheddar. Chetney.
Cheddars.
You had it.
Cheddar.
Cheddars.
Blood nutters. That's a serious ritual.
Nutter cheddars.
Blood under cheddars.
You are quite well versed in the gorier aspects of existence, this might be a bit intense.
I start taking off my clothes, getting down to my.
Wait, I don't.
Nobody asked for that.
Listen.
Do you work better
When
with
it
your
comes
clothes
down
on?
to blood, it's better to be in your prime element. I'm just getting down to my skivvies.
As it kind of gestures over to the far wall, and a bunch of books kind of fall off
Start stretching.
as a kind of rolling table that kind of is acting as a temporary gurney, kind of shifts over to the center.
Yeah.
Laudna, are you still all right with this?
It has to be done. This can't happen again.
And I will ask you to lay here, please.
Feels like when you're going in for surgery and you can see like all the tools being unwrapped and you're like,
Are you gonna use it?
Is there any like a curtain or a pillow or anything in this room?
You might need some lumbar support.
No, there are definitely curtains and.
I'm just gonna mage hand rip it off the wall and like make sure the table's covered
Okay.
so she's comfortable.
You got it.
She'll put it
messy.
back. She'll put it back.
I was not now.
All right. So, I am not a surgeon by any means, so I'll have to rely on your specialty. Of
Dr. Cheddar's.
Wait, you're the one. He's doing the surgery. He's doing.
Unless
the...
you have a better.
He's really good with fine work. I mean, we've seen his carvings, and
He's great at metal.
he's a master craftsman. I
Steady hands.
That's right.
Do you need an assistant?
I don't know yet. If I start crying out in panic, that means I need help.
Okay.
Chet, guidance.
And to remind everyone here,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Steady as she goes.
so an interesting point of question here too. This is a multi-stage ritual.
Yeah.
Each person can contribute to the ritual once.
So
Can I?
Have we already fulfilled our duties?
You have fulfilled your duties.
So is she
With a
allowed to
success.
guide people? Is that considered adding to the ritual?
I'll say you can continue to guide people, but that will be your addition to this. So
Just buffing
if you want to be
Just
something,
buffing? Buffing is
Buffing.
good enough.
Okay.
huge. That's
Okay.
huge.
so like narratively, if you wanted to, help somebody, but from an actual like mechanical standpoint, your benefit to this ritual is what you're doing.
That's good.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to also, narrate how you're guiding each person if you'd like to as well.
I say guidance.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what would be the best use of.
It's hard because we don't know all the steps yet.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah, we don't know what it
Because also, like, if I did an aura of life, I mean, maybe Laudna could be resistant to necrotic damage. Maybe that would help.
You want to just save till later in the ritual?
Yeah, let me just wait. Can I just think about it?
If you want to think about it, yes. But I'll say like that will probably hold off on the perpetual guiding if you want to save it for something else.
Okay, guidance. I think that's
You're gonna
probably
do it.
the best.
Guidance.
You got it.
Guidance.
You
It's
got
the
it.
best. Yeah.
All right.
I take a chair and I just move it loudly across the floor. Like, step up on there and I take one of my sharpest chisel. Drag it across my hand and then flames come off of it. Gotta sanitize these things.
Yes, sure. Yes.
Don't worry, you won't feel. You're gonna feel a lot.
Yeah, so off of that, am I gonna be conscious, awake this whole time?
We need you present for this ritual.
All right.
However, just a moment, and he starts going in through some of his, looks like a case of various alchemical compounds. This was gifted to me by a friend a while back. Blows all this dust off of it, and you opens it up, and there's just a bunch of vials and things put around there. You can see the little label on it that says Bernardo on the bottom. And just kind of goes through and pulls out a pouch and kind of like pulls out this mulch type material and says, the placement of this stone will have to be behind the sternum.
Right.
So, if you want to apply this around where the mark of the incision would be, it should numb the space to pain.
I don't need it.
Gangster.
Very well. Puts it back and closes the case and slips it underneath the table.
I have dogs leap from my chest from time to time.
It's very high
Want a stick to bite on or anything?
I'll have a stick to bite on. Do you have a stick? Wooden spoon.
Reaches over and grabs what looks to be a wooden, like a heavy tome bookmark with a crook at the end that kind of holds on to the edge of the book itself. Here you are.
Okay.
The rest of you may wish to avert your eyes or not, but he goes and takes the same chalk he's been using and kind of like, moves aside a little bit of your outfit and marks right beneath where the sternum is to where the incision will be. I will be conducting a binding ritual of this to your essence as it is being placed within. Take care and wait for my signal for each point of its attachment.
Sure. Are we going above the xiphoid process and cracking the breastplate, or are we going under?
I do not think we need to break any bones to do this. I would prefer to go under.
Okay.
Well, you tell me what is best for you, I suppose.
I mean, does that thing open up a bunch? Like, have we seen a bunch of barn door action happen when you go crazy?
Yeah, you have.
That's what I was thinking.
It's more magical.
It's pretty flexible.
It might be
Well,
more
it's pretty
malleable
flexible.
than we think. We could just drop an elbow in there and get that thing.
Pretty brutal.
What can you show me?
I rip a dog from my chest, I guess.
I think I was like, watch out!
See, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I just gotta start screeching his little head.
He's a good boy. He's a
And your
very
chest
good
just goes
boy.
like afterwards.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a problem.
Can you keep that open?
Can I? Can I?
If you
Give it a try.
I mean, you are used to changing your physicality to terrify
again,
people.
That's
I'll
true.
hold that
Yeah,
son of a
I know.
bitch.
All right. I lay down and I just take my finger and I kind of give myself almost like an autopsy cut.
Oh, fuck.
And
Give him the Y.
Give it
Yeah.
the Y,
Yeah.
and then kind of peel
Like the
back
rib-
a little bit.
Actually, I'll reach in, take out a split, shove it a little.
Do we want to have the machine ready to go? Do we want to have some
door stops?
Do we want to burn a match? Yeah, the harness and maybe burn something for this, just in case, or at least be ready to.
Oh, like, well, I don't know what that is, but to
Do you
like
want to
suck
hold
the
anyone?
life.
Do you want to hold a hand, Laudna, or you want?
I'll be. Maybe.
Also, do we have permission to stare at your chest for this whole procedure?
They've seen so much.
Okay, good.
Yes, it's they've seen a
Her
lot.
cracked chest is just sitting open,
We
by the way.
shot something together.
We've seen those bones.
Yeah.
All right.
Essex, by the way, is now like 4 feet back as you do all of this, and he's just like, right.
I lay down on the table.
I'll get my materials. He shifts his hand around, and some other instruments kind of lock into place above.
You're gonna be great.
Yeah. I'll
He grabs the tome.
I'll see you all on the other side.
You will.
You're all very capable. You especially, so wouldn't trust anyone else.
Oh, should I step down from?
No,
Oh, okay.
No, just.
All right.
Good time to be petty.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I just
Ritual works.
just wipe your lungs a little bit. Wipe your heart.
Dab, don't wipe.
Oh,
dab,
that's really
dab,
good.
don't wipe.
Okay.
Oh God,
Very slow.
you gotta dab it.
Gotta keep an eye on him though. He might carve
that?
RTA
Yeah.
inside.
What's that?
Wouldn't believe.
Oh God.
I'm ready.
More sawdust.
As he begins like muttering the incantation under his breath, you see the tips of his fingers begin to glow. As he does, you can see from the instruments begin to weave almost like a silken thread of arcane energy that also begins to weave between his fingers. And he kind of winds it, spins it like a skein almost around his fingertips, just kind of focused on the crystal as he slowly hands it over to you. He just continues the incantation and gives you a nod. As you begin to bring it there, you see that one of the threads sticks to the crystal, and the crystal kind of glows ever so faintly, and the kind of thread just kind of faints in the air like this little hairline element of gossamer, unmoved by air or breath. He continues the incantation as you see the cracked open rib cage of Laudna there waiting. And as you kind of look towards it, you can see the thread that went into the crystal begins to slowly find purchase, kind of up and under the rib cage to guide you.
I'm gonna take the wood chisel while I'm holding the soul anchor, and I'm gonna draw a small incision along the inside of her organs and just collect some of her black ichorish blood. I'm gonna smear it on the soul anchor and cast like a blood maledict, just to get it to ignite, and it'll take on like a strangely lightly blue, like softly glowing flame on the outside of it, off of her blood in my hands as we try to push it in.
Very cool. So you all watch tensely as Chetney begins to find place within her innards to both fit this where it is, but also each of these silver threads, another one begins to emerge from the skein, kind of thread through this stone and then find a back of part of the ribcage as well. It's this slow, arcane stitching of this stone within the cage that's splayed to that when the final thread is pulled, it will knot itself together like finishing sewing together a carve in a piece of cloth. This is a slow, arduous process. As you are laying there, the incantation's turning into just a droning sound in the background. Focusing down, you can feel the
She doesn't like this.
You hear a whisper in the back of your mind. What are you doing?
Just turning the tides a little bit.
You need me.
You're absolutely correct. And you need me.
Chetney, I need you to roll a medicine check for me.
No problem.
And I need you to add, because of your hemocraft, you can add your spell modifier to it, your hemocraft modifier to it.
Okay.
And Fern has
And
ongoing
guidance. Guidance.
So go ahead and roll a d4.
Oh,
I roll a d4?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah, okay.
It's an 18.
Wait. Plus
2. 20.
20?
The DC was fucking 20.
I'm so stressed.
You did the right thing. You picked it. You did the right thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
because if you hadn't,
Yeah.
we would have failed that.
You did the right thing.
Oh my god.
So,
Okay.
slowly and carefully, as these arcane threads begin to weave through the bones and flesh, you can feel them cold at first, and the blue flame begins to create a warmth as the crystal begins to be placed within. It's at first a burning sensation, but then it becomes a warmth that you haven't felt in a long time, and you have flashes of memory back to childhood of what it felt to be warm, to have that flicker of life that you don't really appreciate until it's gone.
Just see Lorna kind of grip her hand a little bit as it feels a little tingly.
As the threads continue weaving through and the incantation continues, you watch as the arcane skein that Essex has crafted begins to tug and pull away, and as it does, it's almost like a cat's cradle. What you saw was a kind of a clustered series of threads pulls back into a woven network of intricate shapes and runes, like a geometric spider's web that pulls back, and as it tugs, you see the ribs begin to close up. A successful placement of the stone within. At that moment, the rest of you begin to watch as the blue flame begins to darken, as shadow begins to drift out of the open wound and into the air, a familiar dark shadow. As this is pressing forward, as it keeps muttering, and you can see he's not stopping the incantation, his eyes are going wide and looking around at the rest of you. The shadows beginning to swirl around, and you can see little bits of purple energy and flame like flicking around the side of her neck. You can feel her now climbing out of the shadowed basement that she's been locked in these past few hours and is now starting to push towards the surface.
Kind of sputters a little bit, and you see a little bit of like that black ichor and blood kind of cough up out of her.
What do you do?
Out of her mouth.
I'm gonna burn a couple rages. I'm gonna start concentrating and seeing if I can. I'm gonna try and tap into something useful. I don't know if it'll work or not, but
okay. So go ahead and let's burn a rage.
Yeah. That's a cock. Yes. As I sit and start breathing very slowly, trying to control this energy, which I never try and control this energy. I focus, and there's a shift and a few odd things happen, and eventually, after going a little gray and a little red and phasing, little rainbow sparkles, little shocks start to hit as I hit the probability point. I was wondering if it's possible just to add as a bonus for the rest of this, for anyone who's got something for this, to mark Delilah with Mark of the Messy End.
Sure, I'd like to. I will say your rage will drop in a moment because you don't have anything holding it. So if you have something you want to contribute now, which would be that?
That would be that.
Okay.
So there's just sparks, little sparks trying to contain the smoke and push it in different directions and tear it apart.
What does Mark of the Messy End do?
It means that basically crits, or however you deem to use this, are now 18, 19, and 20 for the next 6 seconds. Yep.
So what I'll do is for this, I'll say, regardless of the DC, whatever the next contributing roll is, if it's an 18, 19, or 20, it is a success.
Okay.
Regardless of the DC.
Okay.
And that's like total, not the die roll.
Okay.
Cool. I look over at Oren.
Got it.
Just make eye contact with him. Seedling.
I place my hand on the hilt, and I walk over and raise my hand up to your shoulder.
If it goes wrong,
it's not gonna come to that. You are surrounded by people who care for you, and you have more love in your heart than Delilah has ever had in her long, cursed history. And flowers start to grow out of Orem's hand. Little red poppies again start to spread out on small tendrilled vines and wrap around Laudna's neck and spiral around her arm and down her body, beautifying the table that she lies on. And they glow with a subtle black light, and Orem will hex Delilah. And give her disadvantage. I actually think if we try to do anything to her, I think wisdom is what I'm thinking controlling stuff.
Yeah.
She's a disadvantage for wisdom now.
So both of your contributions here, we need a roll to contribute to this. I'll say between both of these, to combine both of these abilities to try and keep her at bay and lock her in, this is going to be a contested roll of wills. So I need one of you to roll a wisdom check.
Very average. So that's D20 plus.
Guidance?
Now, because you're both helping in this, in theory, this would be with advantage.
Okay. With guidance, yes. And it's just my wisdom modifier added to whatever I roll?
Correct.
18, 19, 20.
And then Asher's gonna add in before.
So there's a lot of good ways this could go. There's a lot of bad.
Oh, you're doing guidance. So I got 21.
What did you roll? Plus 2?
18.
Rolled an 18.
So that's a success on my and plus 2.
So, in
Crit.
correct.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Because of what you had applied to this, it is considered a crit. So regardless of the DC, it's a success. So you watch as Essek is seeing you lean forward as you're concentrating, and you all watch as these sparks fling off. They emerge in kind of multitudes of odd colors, and then as they kind of shift to combine with whatever the shadow is, they shift into like a grayish mist with almost like silverish specks throughout, and begin to, in many ways, resemble some of the magic you've seen Essek control and manipulate since you went to Aor with him. And his eyes even go wide more and kind of briefly make eye contact with you with like a, we'll talk about this later, kind of head tilt. As you holding Selig before you, all these vines begin to reach out and swirl and entrap. As they begin to grasp for the shadow, it's almost like the vines become shadow in their own right. And as they begin to swallow the shadow that is emerging from Laudna, they solidify into blackened vines that hold it there, locking it like a dead plant over a wall. As this happens, you all feel this wave of warmth in the room, sourcelessly. There's no windows here. It's a basement laboratory, but you feel a warm gust of wind that feels oddly welcoming, and you feel a familiar presence that you felt once before. As the shadow gets locked in, you hear within your mind a scream. I will not be stopped. And you feel like the force kind of trying to keep through. You're trying to hold her back, but you all begin to see Laudna's eyes beginning to flutter and lull back. You can feel like Essek getting a little more nervous, but as he pulls the final thread closed on the binding of this soul anchor into her chest, and the final bit of the skein kind of drifts inside, he closes the book and says, "We're almost done. The incantation's complete. Now, I need to initiate the actual anchor." And he puts his hand over the area on the chest that's been closed. At which point, her back arches upward, and you can see, you're now in the middle of a fight. You're no longer present in the room. You withdraw back into shadow, and in this darkened space, you can see just the faintest flicker of blue flame and darkness around you. And you just float there in this cold space. Then out of nowhere, she reaches for you, and you see Delilah, her hands around your throat, and she's just strangling you, pushing and holding towards you, her eyes locked on you. Her fingers begin to pull upward, like her arms divide. There's now hands on your throat, but a second form of hands rip off of the first set and begin to try and claw for your mouth.
What can we see? What can we see?
You just see Laudna, her back arching on this table, and Essek trying to hold his hand there as he keeps his eyes closed and begins muttering a secondary incantation.
This at all?
How do you want to contribute to this?
Can I put my hands on either side of Laudna's head, and I'm going to try to force my thoughts down into her mind as well?
Yes, you may.
And I'm going to see Delilah, try to talk to her.
You do.
Delilah?
Yeah.
As you push down into the space, you see kind of the low flickers of blue flame and shadow around, and from your perspective, you get a glance at the horizon, and you've been here once before. You see the shadowed outline of the building cityscape of a once dead Whitestone, just barely cast in grays and blacks around you. You see up above in the expanse the extending growth of leafless tree branches as the blackened sun tree that you once burned together now grows once more in the darkness, now splintered in 4 different places, pushing past the burns that kept it at bay. And you see there the 2 fractured spirits of Laudna and Delilah Briarwood entangled and fighting.
I'm going to run to her.
You float up next. Out of the corner of your eye, you see a welcoming light. A bright lavender spark kind of arrives.
Imogen.
I'm gonna come up behind Laudna and just send my energy through her and hold on to Delilah's hands. Try to give Laudna my strength. And I'm gonna look Delilah in the eyes. There's only 2 ways for this to end.
You can't have her.
Either you go into that anchor or you end. We're not making another choice.
I've endured far worse than this.
I know you have. This will give you a chance to fight another day.
Go ahead and make a charisma check for me.
Come on. Yeah, guidance? I mean, can I
Yeah, and this is your contribution as opposed to a direct roll. So
No, she's...
Just a charisma, not a persuasion, just a charisma.
God damn it.
correct. In this instance here, there is no convincing her. She knows what she's on the cusp of being imprisoned.
God, I'm so fucking scared.
Now,
Is there any way I can help?
that's what I was going to say. The only other person that hasn't contributed to this ritual is you, Laudna. How are you wanting to contribute to this?
Okay, so kind of put my hands over top of Imogen's. Feel hers. It's like her ghostly spirit almost like intertwines with mine. I'm going to look at Delilah. And as she's choking me, I'm just gonna give a little smile. These years of being your puppet, it ends today one way or another. I think it's your turn. And I'm going to cast Void Puppet.
Oh, shit, this is a move. Oh, what a choice.
And so you see every person who was hanging on that tree with me that day, their spirits like erupt out from Laudna's back and loop around, and you see their spirits like stretch and almost begin like spaghettification and go and attach to Delilah's back as if they are puppet strings. As my grip on her tighten, and so this gives me and hopefully Imogen in her role advantage on intimidation charisma checks, and gives Delilah disadvantage
Oh, shit.
on a saving throw. The exact wording is if I target her with the spell, she has disadvantage on it, but
Yeah, correct. So for this, the effective benefit is you are giving Imogen advantage on her charisma roll.
okay.
It's huge. Huge.
Before. Okay, 21.
Plus.
It was a 15 plus 1 for guidance and then plus 5.
Okay. As you're staring into her eyes, you hold on to her hands. All these spirits emerge and thin out into these strings that attach to the back of Delilah Briarwood. And from the distant shadow of Whitestone Spectre, hundreds of other threads emerge until she has a network of every person that fell in that city, pulling her from behind. There is a burning hatred in her eyes, a purple flame that grows brighter and more intense. You feel as if you had flesh in this moment, it would be burned away with just the piercing volume of hate behind them. As she opens her mouth to speak, and every single one of those threads pulls her away. As she gets pulled silently into the shadow behind, Essek presses his hands down onto Laudna's chest, finishes the incantation. Her entire body from the inside begins to glow a vibrant purple glow, to the point where the ribcage itself is the only darkened spot. The rest of her flesh is now alight like a lantern from the inside. Where her back is arched, her eyes and mouth fire out that same purple light, and that blackened shadow gets cast off like a torch to the darkness. As you pull your hands back, the light diminishes. Laudna's body relaxes, and Essek is pulled back and is kind of just floating in the air, looking down. His eyes scattered around, looking for any sign of success.
That's very fair.
Laudna? Matilda?
She's there.
Who's there?
Who?
Delilah. She's there, but she's yours.
Oh! Muzzle the bitch! Got her! Got her!
You look inward for a second, and what you see is that burning hatred and that screaming, shadowed face, quiet as it blasts against and rails against this ancient Aeorian crystal that holds her, her flames, her shadow, drifting out like a sieve into the bone-like ribcage that contains her for as long as you walk this realm. And you look down upon this inside yourself, inside your spirit. She is entirely yours.
Look at my hands. Do they look any different?
Not particularly.
I'm going to attempt to conjure Pate, because he's been gone for a minute.
As you go to conjure him, you feel where once you had to borrow energy from this darkness inside you as a request, as a sharer. Now you siphon it from this crystal, and you watch that purple flame in her hated expression dim as you draw from her as you please. And as you do, the shadow swirls in your hand.
What happened? Did I fuck it up?
Is this bad or normal bad?
Where are we?
We did.
Who the fuck are you?
That's Harry.
I draw my weapon.
No.
It's Delilah, is it?
That didn't come out of the green.
I will attack.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
That's a 19 to hit.
It hits.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
No. 9 plus 7, 16.
16 points of damage. All right, and you added your divine.
I did not.
An extra D8.
Another 4. 20.
Okay. It's like, immediately just scatters.
I have smited Delilah.
Oh, Brayus, you're so brave.
Thank you.
That was Pate.
Yes, I made
Delilah into pate.
Does she still feel as cold?
Yeah,
or
do I feel warm? Tell me.
Her hands are cold. But you felt her hands before.
These are distinctively less clammy than usual.
Still alright. They're very much like room temperature.
Yeah, you're just
like,
cold, but not like. What the fuck? Can I look down at her chest?
Yeah. Do you see? Can you see like?
Again.
My blouse is still kind of undone. Do you
Please,
see?
that's a master craftsman touch.
You tell me.
I imagine if you like look faintly, maybe there's like a dull, like when you were a kid and you'd shine like a flashlight through your hand in the dark, and you can kind of be like, whoa, I see the veins. Yeah.
There is indeed a.
Oh God! I just learned something about boys. Oh no!
The Batwing.
Oh yeah.
Please tell me you weren't shining flashlights through your balls.
Absolutely.
Anything you can imagine.
Yeah. If it stretches,
Yeah.
flashlight
Look,
over.
a lot of us grew up before the internet. So, we had a lot of time to pass.
I never have, but now I don't know if that's going to happen at some point. Like, the power goes out at some point. Shit.
Your phone has a flashlight on it.
Yeah, some of us never stopped.
Finally, pick, I could be in.
No, but in like, it's hard to describe. There's a particular like wall lamp out of a rib cage and mist that comes to mind for me. But like, it is that kind of like scenario where you can see the darkened shape of her rib cage only because the light that peeks through it, that faint purple glow of the soul anchor, indeed is visible.
Oh yeah, Boney Stark.
I love it. Can I,
Oh my God.
like, look inward?
Yeah.
Do I still feel like a faint beating heartbeat? Is she looking through my eyes? Is she more or less cut off?
Make an insight check.
She can't see shit anymore.
Yeah. Specifically thinking of like Imogen being like, I hate that she watches us.
Guidance.
Natural 20.
It's a
My
new
God. Oh,
Sick.
flamey that.
Yeah.
You take a moment to take stock of where she resides within your essence. She can only see what you want her to see.
Okay. So I can, if I'm like, yo, tell me about the Cerberus Assembly, I can be like, ding, 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 like tapping on the aquarium, but she's not accessing me at all times.
Correct. Mind you, she would need some real particular convincing to want to help you in any way, shape, or form now.
Yeah.
You've essentially you've entrapped your patron.
You're
Damn.
You are enemy number one.
Damn.
You can pull her power, but she doesn't have to help.
That
you.
could have come in handy
Yeah.
a while ago. That's the move.
Boy, you just got to bribe her on occasion, maybe with a sandwich or something. That's great.
Yes, she's. She won't be watching us anymore.
I just kiss her.
I kissed her. Can we get back together now? Okay.
I just hang my head.
2 down.
How do you feel?
I feel amazing. It's
Feel different?
different, but in a nostalgic way, like in an old way, like more like myself, like a sense of clarity. It's like, well, you know, walking through life with like a fog in your head all the time.
Looking at Lavna, is there any subtle difference, like a little more blood in her cheeks?
Yeah, so we were trying to figure out if she's like...
Yes.
There's a little more color to her. She's still Laudna. She's
still undead.
She's still
wrecked.
Yes.
she is still what she is, and she's still bound by the spell that keeps her here. She and Delilah are still irrevocably tethered, but the dynamic has changed.
It's nice. Feeling like I have control. Thank you all. You've done it not once but twice.
This one feels better.
Forever in your tent.
No.
You look down because you feel Chet's hands around your ankle, and I'm taking one of my finishing chisels and I'm just carving into your ankle. C P O. I do it on all of my best works. Just tough it out. O P
See poop?
C pop.
Oh.
Oh, there's an extra O.
There we go.
Ah.
You're in good company now.
You know, only you would I allow to do that.
I know.
Some cult shit that just happened.
You're welcome.
That's really fun.
I feel weird if I carve C-pop into your ankle. I don't know why I would do that.
Wow.
We should get some rest.
Yes.
I would like that very much as well.
Oh, yeah. I feel like shit.
Well, and he kind of like glides down into this like heavy leather chair that's creaky and well overused. Not every day you get to be part of such a moment.
Thank you, Essex.
Happy to have been of service. I still have a lot of service to make up for in this lifetime.
We should celebrate. Who
You're right.
knows what the aftermath is tomorrow from what happened earlier today? We're fucking exhausted. We're in a big city. We just scored a win for once. We should celebrate you.
Celebrate us.
Are you thinking like a house party or like a go out and get ready sort of thing, or?
What do you recommend, Essex?
Dorian's like, can I wear my shoes? House buddy, are we getting?
Are you jealous because Laudna had her tits out? So?
Well, I suppose now is as good a time as any for a bender. Yes. Well, as far as
You can always sleep and then bender tomorrow.
No, I understand.
I'm talking a rager. I just mean commemorating the moment.
It's been a second since we've had a win.
I believe I have a few things that can work for the occasion.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and he kind of like does this with his hands, and you watch a bunch of the books and scattered instruments go back to their places.
Wow.
Jealous.
That's intentional.
Yes, it was. A little bit of cleanup. Let's step out of a place quite as work and memory oriented. Follow me. And he puts his robe back on and glides up to the
Was he
main
naked
room.
this whole time?
No.
Him and Chet.
Grace, do you know how
The true
to
arcana needs to be
celebrate?
done
Do celebrations happen in the hells?
in his enchanting suit.
Celebrations happen all the time in the hells. Yes, we know how to party.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I have some questions for you.
Sure.
Did you want to invite any of your friends over, like Abs? I'm just saying, like,
Abs? Which one's abs?
which one is abs?
Oh, that one! It's been a while.
I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to invite any friends over, you totally could.
Do you have friends?
A handful. They're currently away on important business.
Sure.
I wish they could be here, believe me. But I'm currently awaiting to hear back.
Okay.
So, if they manage to show up in the next hour or two, I'm sure they'd be happy to join, but...
Great.
that's
I mean,
out of
this
my
is
hand.
your place. I don't know why I would be.
But I believe I do have some wine, perhaps a few things in a cabinet. What would Caleb have here, you think?
Well,
a few bottles of Lionette wine. Like
everything in the tower, but here there's a full pantry of Lionette wine.
Yeah. I don't think he's taking anybody into the tower.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I mean, he has a basic array of liquor, but he has a ton of wine.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Just big old Red Barrel and Fireball.
All the German names of Fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super dusty. It's great.
A tap of Fireball.
Goldschlager Jägermeister Fireball.
Covered in
It's called
dust.
Widowgaster.
Yeah, I imagine Bo would for sure just like every Christmas or birthday or like winter's crest, she just drops like crates of Lionette wine. that
One
you
side's all
never-
like Caleb's
Yeah.
booze, and then Essex got Zima.
Yeah.
Somewhere
He would be that guy.
Just doing the thank you. I just need to remind you I don't drink.
Yeah.
I just thank you.
Why-
Whatever give it is. Give.
Why would I buy it when I can get it for free?
But indeed, in this late evening hour, Essex procures a few bottles of wine, a few partially drinking bottles of brackish liquor, puts some glasses and mugs out for you all, and there is kind of a breakfast nook table that can fit you all in a crowded way around, if you wish to take a minute and celebrate.
Toast.
To new beginnings.
I'm miming. I have a
To
cup.
new beginnings.
To new beginnings.
Wow.
Before the end.
I got a real cup. I don't have to mind.
To a bunch of losers winning.
Yes.
To finishing strong.
Hell yes.
Hell.
It's being in control of our destiny.
Yes.
Here, here.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bottoms up.
Cheers. Bottoms up.
It's nice to meet you all.
Oh.
Yeah, this is still really weird.
It's been like
I gotta be honest.
4 or 6 hours since we met.
Wait, so
This is why we have our traditional greeting, which is the so. I think it's time for a round of what the fuck is up with you?
Me? You? Oh, this is her special day. I don't want to interrupt. But sure, go ahead.
So you're from the hills.
I'm not from the hills. I've been there many times.
Where are you from?
Originally, or
Yeah, give us the
Any way you
rundown.
want to answer it.
What's your zip code?
my family originated.
That's his area code.
I don't know how worldly you are, but there's on the continent of Wildmount there's an empire and there's a dynasty.
We're in the
there now.
empire.
I know that, but I don't know where you're from. I don't know anything about you.
Sure,
we were
sure,
just in another place entirely 6 hours ago when I met you.
Fair.
My family originally came from the dynasty part of the continent, and then we lived for a time in the empire part, and now I rove about, but I think my true home now is the Hells.
How'd you find your calling?
Are you a religious person?
I never have been, but
Definitely not.
Sometimes the gods speak to you in a moment of great need or great triumph or great trauma, and I'm happy to say that my Lord reached out to me at a low moment and brought me up again.
So your lord was like, "Hey, I can help you right now."
I mean, it wasn't like a conversation like that, but I I received a vision that I was meant for a greater purpose, and it gave me a goal to set myself to.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So but this wasn't your first religious calling, if I recall. We had a little talk about I want to say the platinum dragon.
There was
before going.
I was also aligned with another god before I learned the truth, as we all have learned now that the prime deities are the name betrayer god, I think, is a misnomer. I think they're all, the primes are just as misguided. And I learned that the hard way, and I shifted my alliances.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You got like the juicy inside deets?
I mean, I fell on hard times. I was a devotee of the Platinum Dragon, and I served his church, and I worked at a temple. I was promoted up the ranks quite highly. Actually, I was in charge of security and protection of a temple in a place called Zadash. And one day, the temple was attacked by two deceitful people. Yes, a horrible goblin and a nightmarish tiefling. And I let them in. They deceived me to gain entry, and I failed in my duties to protect the temple.
How did you fail? What happened? Did they
destroyed the temple.
They destroyed it?
They destroyed it.
So it's gone?
Such digs.
It's gone?
It's not gone. I mean, they set fire to it. They desecrated it. It was horrible.
What did they do to desecrate it?
They painted. I was actually sort of confused when I got here to this home because I saw there's dicks on the wall.
There's literally a dick over his shoulder carved into the
dicks
wall.
on the wall?
They painted dicks. Yes, maybe it's. I guess it's a popular thing if it's here too. But they painted dicks on the wall, and I was blamed for the attack. Yeah, well, I failed to protect it. So.
That's terrible. Were they caught, apprehended?
I know they're at large, and I will find them.
I hope
And I
you
will
do.
destroy them.
And that was the
Rude.
experience that bent you towards the Lord of the Hells.
No, I mean, that sort of started a downfall of sorts. I was expelled from the church, excommunicated, I guess you could say, and...
Because they thought you were drawing the dicks?
No, because I failed.
Maybe the tiefling and the goblin that you spoke with, maybe they worked for the Lord of Hells. Maybe their whole purpose was to get you away from the Platinum Dragon.
Oh, like he sent them as a test? As a test?
Like
or
the devil works in mysterious ways, sort of.
Whoa.
Oh, interesting.
They acted with such reckless abandon, it doesn't seem like my lord has very clear motives and drives, and they were animals, really.
Well, they must
the
have been,
worst people on the planet.
They must have been incredibly powerful and stout. I mean, you're stacked, and you've got armor, and you're two bald flail. Like, they must have just been absolute warlords.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
Wow.
Well, I'm sorry you went through
balls
that.
were not enough.
I was removed from my post, disgraced. My family lost a lot as well.
Where's your family now? Are you still?
I don't know, because they sort of blamed me as well.
Oh.
We don't speak anymore.
So your family is still very heavily into the Platinum Dragon.
I don't believe so. They were also disgraced and were sort of removed.
That's awful.
So,
Yes.
Asmodeus is like a rebound?
A rebound? No. He is the one true God.
A rebound.
Of multiple.
For you.
Of all. He showed me as he will show all of you, that there is no such thing as objective truth. There is only power and victory. And as we saw in that TV show that we just all watched together, the only thing that there are those who matter and those who don't. And he matters. And through his guidance and his power, we can find purpose.
And what purpose have you been put to, let's say before the skies went crazy? What was a day in the life of Breas like 6 months ago?
Are we gonna drink or just talk? I mean,
we're drinking while this is on.
We've been taking shots.
We're just shooting it back.
As the herald of
Wait, take
Lord
a
of
shot
Lies-
first. Take a shot.
Okay, take a shot.
Oh, jeez.
As the herald of the Lord of Lies, it is my honor-bound, oath-bound duty to find followers for my Lord and spread word of his power. And to do that, it's a little tricky because, if I'm being honest, which I always am,
Insane.
There's a lot of people who don't really love my God so much.
I mean, do you love him? Do you love your God, or are you like, I respect the shit out of him?
More the second,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like with what we watched, I don't know if I'm a fan.
Again, I feel like we didn't watch the same thing. He wanted the family to be together forever. He respected his brethren, his kin, and they chose a bunch of mortal fuck-ups over each other.
So you didn't see any nuance in that story. Like there was no complicated relationships there. Things that were kind of
Sure, it was complicated, but they chose mortals over their own family, and then in the next breath, they destroyed an entire city, yes, of mortals. This is how...
No, I'm with you.
Why are you
Oh man, are Breas and Vax destined to be together?
They killed thousands and thousands of mortals.
Oh, more than, yeah.
Yes.
Way more.
So, which led me to the conclusion that they didn't respect their own family because they chose mortals over their family. But then they didn't respect the mortals either, so what do they care about? Themselves. And that's sort of it. But my guy did not just care about himself. He wanted to be with his family, and that's
Your
all we
guy
ever want.
totally lied to everyone.
So did they?
I fell asleep in the movie, so.
I mean,
it was a three-part.
I feel like he raises a fair argument with this, although it is the most interesting, is the most complex view of black and white morality I've ever heard, which is kind of impressive.
I just think isn't it quite a coincidence that everything that is good in the world also seems to help the prime deities? What a fucking coincidence that is.
Well, I will say as a toast to an old friend of mine named Sally, who used to say there are two kinds of people in the world.
Yes, Sally.
People who believe there's two kinds of people in the world and those who don't.
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that too.
I am into this view. This is very interesting.
I'm excited that you're with us.
Am I with you?
Yeah, you haven't achieved your objective. We got a shared interest here, right?
We have to kill Ludinus.
Yep.
We have to save the gods.
Yep.
We have to acquire the power of the factotum.
and use it to destroy the prime deities.
Oh.
Yeah, why not?
That's where we.
And find the tiefling and the goblin and murder them.
I'm into that.
Yeah, but most of that is like all in the same ballpark.
It
I
feels
think.
like we can at least, go
Maybe
go
after-
a certain length.
It depends on the priority,
Yes,
what order you go
yes,
in.
And honestly, God, we need the help. I mean, let's not kid ourselves that we could use all the help we can get right now.
Yeah, just like in the movie, right? The part that I stayed awake for was, you despite differences, you work together, and then something happens at the end.
It's going to be tricky with some of the higher ups we work with, but that's always been true of us.
What's going to be what tricky?
Well, we have to figure out what we're doing next.
Sure.
We're probably going to need to talk to some folks, and
updates.
You're an interesting new friend.
We have
If you're-
hells in our name, though. It's honestly very fitting.
When you told me that, I got really excited.
Yeah.
He works in mysterious ways.
But if it helps things, I'm a pragmatist here. We could lie about who I follow.
I thought you don't lie.
Well, that might have been a fib.
I think that pragmatism
that I like
is the overlap here. And I don't know if we're going to settle a right or wrong. Are the gods worth destroying or letting survive? Are they all damnable, or any of them have any redeeming qualities? We're not, but what lewdness has in mind is dangerous for above and below. So we have to be pragmatic.
And if you help me, I guarantee you, the gates of the hells will open, and you can all celebrate with me at my side.
That sounds really fun.
And Fern, because she's.
I have so many questions for you.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean,
My God, I
you
have no
are
idea what.
fascinating.
I thank you so much. You are
Top
too.
3 people I've ever met.
Can you count any higher than 6?
Everyone else counts in tens, but my number
Hovering
system is
MySpace of
sixes.
One thing that I really wanted to ask Lewdness before he was like, call me later, bamfed away, was, he's had all this time to commune with Prodolthos and build things, and I've heard of people in the past going and visiting the gods and talking with them, just in the way that we were having a very nice, communication is key, right? Communication is everything. So why, I just wonder if he has gone and just talked to the gods. Maybe this is going to sound batshit, but
Today? It's going to sound bad shit today.
Maybe we go and talk to the gods and just be like, look, here's the deal. There are people with very big plans and they want to eat you or zap you with a big god laser.
I mean, I remember FCG communing with the Changebringer, but I don't remember. I don't know.
Stories. I don't know if they're true.
We might not have to look too far. Wild Mother was here.
Right now?
I don't feel her right now, but I did when you were on the table, Laudna.
We had a little matron vision before, but it wasn't anything we were looking for. Felt like an accident.
I don't know what to make it, but they're paying attention and they're with us when they want to be.
The Wild Mother came to you?
20 minutes ago when Laudna was on the table.
You mean 3 6s and 2 minutes ago?
Wow.
I mean, that seems like an arbitrary
You could see it that
direction to
way.
make.
That was
Sure.
so fast. That was so fast.
Why can't you do math like that when we're in combat? It's my question.
Oh my god.
Why are you like this?
Everything starts with 3 6s.
I don't know what it means, but Laudna, I have the feeling that she wanted you on your feet again.
Oh.
Feeling.
If I have to deal with one more crazy bitch watching us when we're trying to bone, I'm gonna be real fucking pissed.
Sorry, I'll stop.
I've been.
If that's a thread.
Too finely covered.
If that's a thread you want to pull on, if you would like to try to reach out to the Wild Mother, I can try to help you, advise you. I've reached out to, gods before. I have religious training and temple experience. I can help. I'm not all bad.
That was a lie. I mean, if we wanted to, Essex, I imagine she has a temple in this city.
Tricky.
Gotta be, right?
I'm not particularly versed on the religious aspirations of Rexentrum.
Okay.
Don't get to walk the streets too often.
Because you float on them?
Why?
That's a joke. I like that one.
Thank you.
I could look into it for you.
Wait, is it because you're still like a war criminal and people don't like you?
Who said he's a war criminal?
You said he's did bad things in the past. I think he told us that.
Yes, he just said he did bad things.
Yeah.
He did bad things.
He didn't say he was a war criminal, though, Laudna. He just said he did bad things.
Oh, I'm extrapolating.
Extremely presumptuous of you.
He didn't give back exact change in a shop once.
No.
Well, there's a greeting card on your mantle, and it's written to my favorite war criminal, signed Beauregard. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That tracks.
Yeah, exactly. She would say that. Yeah.
I mean, I make no secret. I have complicated feelings about the gods and always have, and I feel like, with the clearest head I've had in a long time, that however this works out, it's kind of their decision. It's however they decide to justify themselves. I think it's going to come down to people, and they either justify themselves, leave, or end.
Wait, the gods justify themselves?
Yeah, this is honestly, what else is this about other than why are you here?
I have to
And
agree.
it's their turn to explain to us why we need them.
Well, they did leave, though, didn't they?
Not enough.
They caused horrific pain and suffering on a terrible scale. And then they left. They barred themselves. It's not enough for some, but it was their own chosen penance, I guess.
Blue Beauty, you also hate the gods?
Like the nickname, but I wouldn't say hate. But I do agree with the Ashton. The last time I conferred with the god, they cared very little about the feelings of anyone around us.
Which god was this?
A goddess. Spider Queen.
Well, that kind of tracks.
Why?
It's another of the betrayers.
I'm just gonna say if there's one thing I mean, there's a lot of
You have
things
us
I
called.
do not like in this world. And one of them is when powerful people get to decide how they are punished.
See, that's a funny turn of phrase. People. You view them as people.
Now I do.
Like us. And
I didn't before, and now I do, and honestly, it makes me even a little angrier.
I feel the same.
It is strange. I honestly watched all that and I don't know, I was kind of endeared by them a bit. Just in the way of like, oh, they were just travelers looking for a home and are absolute fuck-ups as well. But on the flip side of that, they seemed willing to burn this all to the ground and potentially start anew, so maybe they can just start anew elsewhere without burning it all to the ground?
Can they?
Would they, without their power?
Is there a way for us to ever know?
Asking them would be a start.
We saw it today. If we're capable of it, if you're capable of it, shouldn't the gods be? To risk it all?
That's, in my darker moments, that's what I want, is I want to see them pray to us. I want to see them ask us what we want.
You'd rather die than stay controlled by someone else.
Yes.
Yeah, but the gods and lewdness are different topics.
Oh yeah, lewdness is a fucking problem. What a fucking...
You can think anything you want about the gods. It has nothing to do with the uncertainty of lewdness's plan and the potential destruction that elf is going to unleash. There's no guarantee, there's no scroll, there's no script, there's no God's promise that will tell us that he isn't about to unleash a calamity as bad as or worse than what history saw. We don't know.
That's where I'm at too. I don't think lewdness has the right to decide for everyone else.
Yeah. But the gods do.
None of them. And I certainly also don't trust anyone who comes to you with a complicated question and then tells you that there's only two answers. That is some narcissistic bullshit, and that's a trick.
And I'm telling you, if lewdness had sent people to your home and taken your brother and your father and countless others, how philosophical would you be about it, Dorian? And he's done that on a very large scale, far beyond me and my home. Think what you want about the gods. We have plenty of sins on our heads to deal with. Just like them.
Our
great-great-grandparents.
Our sins are human. Our sins are small. Our sins are... We don't get to decide how we're punished. We don't get to decide what our consequences are. They're consequences. And in my book, it kind of makes him a god too. Because no one... I guess I just don't trust anyone who doesn't have to answer to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying you don't want the gods to decide our fates, to control our fates, but lewdness is taking up that very same mantle and deciding for everyone on Exandria.
Well?
All across the flat circle of it.
A long story. You don't even want to...
Cuckoo. The other part of it is I haven't heard lewdness give a good reason why we should do it. I mean, I understand not wanting to be controlled by someone else, and if the gods are the people with the control, that's one thing. But let's say you wipe the slate. They're gone. And let's say Prodathos doesn't eat everything else. He consumes the gods, he moves on to some other place and leaves all of us mortals down here to our lonesome. You're talking about resetting the power structure of Exandria from zero. So governments, power dynamics, nations, continents, all of those things are going to be turned upside down.
Well.
And don't forget about everything that was here before the gods, the Fae, the demons. All of that was here. Exactly.
It'll be a mad scramble. And at least in my 400 years, that usually means people die. Lots of people.
People are dying anyway.
I suspect there is a step two that he has up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Once all the gods are gone, we were sitting in a place full of magic that could kill gods. Could kill a god eater. Is he gonna let the god eater do his dirty work and then turn on it?
He's wanting conduits, right? He's wanting us, Brutusborn, Exalted, whatever, to take that on. After it's done, I mean...
He disposes with the weapon.
I think so.
Or he holds on to it, right?
Or
he doesn't
holds
share
on
it.
to it. Plus, another massive factor is we know the Rylorans are wanting to rejoin for their rightful place in Exandria. That's quite a shake-up as well.
Yeah, the Weave Mind, like, are they the new...
Are they the new power structure? Are they the new gods? Ugh.
We should have asked him how he felt about them.
We should.
I feel like there's so much I wanted to ask.
I feel like, I don't know, my thought is maybe it would just go back to the way it was. Little gods, little thoughts, little powers. Answerable.
I don't know.
It's chaos.
The idea of demons having free reign. Only thing keeping them back is the primes, right?
That's what they say.
There are a number of forces in this world that keep such evils at bay. Some faiths and temples are exemplary forces and examples, yes, but there are places where the darker tears to the abyss are kept outside of the Pantheon's watch. Even the dynasty itself, Luxon follower or not, have had their responsibilities over generations at keeping such darkness from spilling into our realm.
What does Predathos mean for the Luxon?
If it even exists. Who knows? But whatever the dunamantic power source is, it is quite divergent from divine power sources. And if indeed the Predathos seems to be an entity that feasts on divine power, then I do not think it would be as interested in the Luxon. But that is just a theory.
Alts.
Alt names for
No, I think alts. I mean, if the
alt
primes, if the
gods.
primes are like mainstream, I'd prefer to call the betrayer gods like indie alt.
Oh, indie gods.
Yeah, like alt god. Like, wouldn't you rather be
Like
into
alt
alt than like Taylor Swift?
How dare you? Do not call that community on us.
Talk about summoning and then
Go back to flat Earth. Back to flat Earth, please.
Character.
There-
Not
There will
me.
be a blip in
We
this
love Taylor
episode,
Swift.
and no
We
one will
love
know
Taylor
why.
Swift.
Yeah.
Unfollow.
The
One
lights
of
shut
the
down.
loftiest Age of Arcanum wizards that ever lived.
Yeah.
T Swift.
She's so
I told you.
Oh, now we got bad blood.
Wow. Really? Okay.
I got a daughter.
I gotta. If we want to end on a slightly, or I don't know how everyone feels, but I have a dumb party game that I've been meaning to play with everybody.
Another dumb party.
Oh, a really good dumb party game.
That's not what the fuck is up with that.
No. I pull out my pipe.
Technically,
Oh, you have the
I
pipe.
have the pipe.
Shit, I went for it, and what the fuck happened to my pipe?
This pipe.
Oh, I've been drinking. and didn't update my notes. I'll do that. What do you say we roll for who smokes it?
What's the
What does it
pipe?
do?
I don't partake.
This when you smoke from this pipe, it reveals your most heroic moment.
Wait, is this from the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essek, hold on. Whether you partake or not, this is from an ancient tree. There are no other pipes like this pipe.
It's an OG strain, baby.
Oldest time. I know your academic brain has got to be curious as fuck.
Make a persuasion check.
It's that San Fernando Valley.
It can only be used once evening, so we can only do it once.
And it tells
Oh, only one
Your-
person can do it?
your most heroic moment to come, or that
That you've experienced, the
That's
most
already-
heroic thing you've done.
My persuasion's a 0?
That does not surprise me.
inspiration. No, I want to see this. I give you the power of the Lord of Lies.
What is that, a
Well, one person can do
D6?
Only one person a day,
plus D6.
which is why I've been waiting for like a
19?
good drinking night to see who wants to fuck around.
I will engage in whatever the chances might be.
God,
It's a good way to get to know somebody.
How do we decide who has to do it?
D10,
Spin the
Oh,
bottle.
a D10. That's smart.
1 through
I was
9.
just gonna say spin the bottle.
You would spin the bottle with a D10
I
because
don't
we don't
mind
have a
spin the
bottle.
That would be fun.
He's thirsty. My man is in a drought. Feed that plant.
God, there was some pent-up horniness going on, wasn't there?
7 minutes in the hell.
I love it.
Six.
All right. So who wants to roll the d10 then?
I mean, it's Talison's.
I know this is Pal.
All right,
Wait,
all right.
Choose
Excuse me,
who-
Ashton.
Does that mean we're all a number?
1, 2,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0 is a reroll.
Okay.
Roll it out in the front.
Wait, what number was that?
Yep, I'll let you know. That's a 5, so 1, 2,
Oh, it
3,
is
4.
Prince!
My backstory is not that thought out, guys. I don't know if I know
There it is.
I'm also going to say that your notion of what is heroic definitely, I feel like, has an effect on this. So it doesn't have to be objectively heroic.
It's what, in your mind, is heroic. Or, if you don't think of anything heroic, subconsciously what your barometer of morality would tell you is the most heroic.
This was gonna... Boy. Start with your parents' name.
Pass.
Heroic.
Yeah. We just fucked your life up, didn't we?
I really don't. I don't know the answer to this. I've lived my life in my most recent life in service of my Lord.
Probably hiding in the closet.
Yeah, hiding in the closet.
Did you try to fight the horrible people that assaulted the temple?
That wasn't. Or like, have you done something in service of your Lord? Yeah, I mean,
You're a bard, really good performer.
I mean, the smoke is actually going to act it out in
was-
front of us.
Yeah, is there something that would horrify us?
That fight with the.
I mean, maybe it was when I killed Stanley.
Who was that, Stanley?
This is Stanley.
Okay.
So I'm into
That was
this. What do we
heroic.
see?
Turn them into a
Do you just say this out loud instead of smoking the pipe?
Oh, do I have to smoke the pipe first?
Somebody said it.
Wait, what does this pipe do? I don't know.
You smoke the pipe, and then we basically get like a 3D visual little story of your most heroic moment.
Okay,
Cool,
okay.
cool,
So
I
yeah.
will do that.
Just from your brain.
I will smoke.
Light it up.
Smoke the pipe.
It doesn't. You don't have a lighter. What are you doing?
This is hold the flame, hold it over the bowl. It's a bubbler.
It's not a bomb, man. No.
Try to get him.
I don't know what this. I don't know what it's shaped like. Yeah,
It's just
It's like a Gandalf.
It's a
pipe.
Gandalf pipe. Sure.
Gandalf has that.
That's a trombone. That's not a pipe. That's a trombone.
Hold it.
Okay.
I'm so
It hasn't
glad.
been cleaned in a while, has it?
Blame this fucker.
Water is dirty as fuck.
God. So
I'm
as
very familiar with sticky black tar substances. It seemed fine to me.
We've been smoking you.
so
Whoa! Could you turn your body into like a bong? Because you can like
Honestly,
make holes and stuff.
probably could in case of an emergency.
as he goes. Anyway,
This is what happens when you hit us with 3 massive battles in one day.
Yeah, we're a little.
I know. Oh, I know.
Loopy loopies.
You see, like as he says, he looks a little overwhelmed, but also he kind of smiles a little bit. He's like,
You gave us liquor.
"It's been a bit since this house has been quite so raucous." Looks over to you as the smoke that you coughed up around, like kind of just just kind of spread out to the chamber, and it begins to form into shapes that are animated. What do we see?
Oh my God!
I'm so into
We're
this.
gonna witness you skinning Stanley.
Yes, I guess you see dark shit, man. You how much of this is just the moment, or it's everything leading up?
It's the narrative of it.
So
License here, man.
you see Breus and a very handsome human man waging battle against sort of dark figures that you can't really make out. And as the battle rages on, Stanley, or the man, the handsome young man, raises a dagger and stabs Breus in the back, and holds up a shining symbol of the Dawnfather. And Breus falls to his knees, but then climbs back up with pure willpower and wipes the blood off of himself and is able to smite Stanley and takes Stanley's blood and paints a large portrait of Asmodeus being stabbed in the back by the Dawnfather. And
with the blood splatter. Yeah, all over the wall.
That's an interesting interpretation.
And then painstakingly skins Stanley. And takes his skin and flesh and bones and makes it into a cup.
Last name Krupp.
It's a Stanley Krupp.
So about like 15 minutes into this vision, when you're partway into the early flaying, I said kind of goes, I'm going to just get some more cookies.
This is the best part.
How did you get the eye to do that? That's crazy.
And then the vision will end with Breas praying to the image he has made, and praying, but gets nothing back.
Well, the art was lovely.
I admire the craftsmanship.
Artistic choice for that, an artistic death.
I think it was very crafty and resourceful. I honestly want to like swap some tips.
Like art tips?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
What did Asmodeus say about your art? It's beautiful.
I'm sure he admired it greatly. Like I said, he doesn't speak to me like that, but I receive visions and nudges, subtle nudges and directions.
Affirmations.
Huh?
Affirmations.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to.
But you've never spoken with the Lord of Hells. Do you feel closer to the Lord of Hells than you do the Platinum Dragon? Do you feel like you've gotten more?
Of course, yeah. I don't know about more communication, but more validation. More. I haven't really spoken to the god ever.
But you're sure that
I am the herald of the Lord of Lies.
Okay.
I am the voice of the Lord of Deception, and I will serve him to my dying day.
How were you made the herald? Is this a choice that you made, or was that the choice that the Lord
Probably
made?
well earned.
Earned.
Dedication?
Yes.
Sacrifice?
Yeah, acts of worship and devotion. Acts of cruelty when needed. Power.
Why a
Massive
cup?
insight check. I have disadvantage on anything. I don't know why I bother. I have a migraine. Why am I doing that?
Double hand abandon on the roll.
Why a cup after?
To drink the blood of my enemies.
Is there,
I just get very thirsty.
as long as you see visions and you feel connected, as long as you're seeing the visions, then that's how you communicate with the gods. I mean, imagine a world where you worshipped a god and couldn't see them or know their presence or hear their prayers.
I wouldn't call them visions as much as sort of imaginings.
Oh, like dreams, maybe.
Well, we
So
live in a
daydream sort of a fantasies.
Our gods are so real. I've never sworn allegiance, and I've felt their presence and seen it enacted upon my friends, and it's direct and clear. And is this not your experience?
He is locked away in the hells, and it must be hard for him to reach out.
Technically a god of deceit as well, so there's probably some complications there.
There could be, one of you could be sent by him. I could have received many words from many people, just don't know it because they're lies. You know, it's really complicated.
Yeah.
Lie stuff is complicated.
It does sound complicated.
Yeah, and that was very disturbing, and at some point you should probably talk to someone, but you're very creative and talented.
Maybe you can ask good old Devin if
Tevin. Yeah.
Maybe you can ask Tevin like how he normally speaks to his followers, and that way, you know.
I'm sure I'm the herald of the King of Hells.
Oh, you were told. You were just like.
I'm sure of it.
Okay.
Got it.
Maybe we just leave.
Maybe we just leave it alone.
Yeah, for a minute.
Yeah, we'll take 6.
Faith is a personal affair.
Yeah.
Hey, you said you were a bard. Is the art is that part of your artistry that makes you?
Yes, that's how I perform acts of great devotion.
Like those live painters that you'll see in the streets.
Yes, and I can paint. I don't just paint evil shit too. I can paint anything. If you want it, I have any requests, I can paint.
Yes.
Is this something you picked up in Jonas? You said you were from the dynasty. Where did you grow up?
We moved out of the dynasty when I was younger.
Insight check.
Thank God. Was I am useless.
No, mine's pretty bad. Well, 16.
16. You can roll a persuasion or deception, your choice. I don't have to say.
33.
Gosh, you're pretty.
Probably gonna
Yeah.
have a really high deception.
There's gonna be a lot of gosh, you're pretty.
I just have a shit insight.
Understood, yes. There are a number of people who are translocated as children. Well.
You're from our dynasty as well?
Yes. Though I've not been there in some time.
Oh.
Particularly of Denthelis.
Oh.
Does that name sound familiar to you?
It's one of the dens, sure.
All right.
I don't know enough to actually have
One of the top 10
dens. So.
Top 6 dens.
Top 6 dens.
You just have a home in the
Saw that on
hills?
Instagram.
A home in the hills?
Like, where do you reside?
Apartment.
I mean, the hills are a chaotic, powerful place.
Sure.
I'm told.
But obviously,
You've never been.
Well, I haven't. To be invited to the hells is a big honor.
That you have not received yet.
But how did you know about lewdness if he's only been speaking to you in daydreams?
This is a celebration. I have a question for you, Essek.
Yes.
These portraits that are on the wall of you and your friends, did you have these commissioned? Were they made by you, or?
He glances past Breus on the wall. There is a fantastic portrait that contains a blue-skinned tiefling, and he immediately waves his hand, and a curtain goes over it. He's like, yes, I had them commissioned, or my partner did. Yes.
Well, as fellow artists, and I certainly don't mean to.
Watch the horn.
Oh yeah, sorry. I don't mean to ask something of you on your first night with us, but we're celebrating and this is fun, and you seem to create your art so quickly. What about a portrait of us together as new friends? Is that something you feel like you could do?
You don't have to kill us to do it, though, right?
No. I don't have to paint with blood. It's my favorite medium, but I'm not gonna. I don't have to.
I think there's still a lot on the table in the
I'm also excited that
laboratory.
we're at our absolutely worst at the moment. It really brings it together.
We could do a fun one though, where like a kind of a slice of life, where we're allowed.
I'm okay with it. I'm excited.
Make a pose.
All right.
Come on. But you've got to be in it. Can you paint yourself in after the fact?
I'll add myself. You know what? I'll sneak myself in. All right. I'll spend some time. I do have art supplies, so I'll take out a canvas, and I'm just doing a lot of this, a lot of like throwing splatter everywhere, and it's really messy, and I don't know how this turns out.
Yeah, go ahead and you can roll a performance check if you'd like.
I will inspire myself.
Or you can choose just the dexterity check. Your call.
No, performance for sure. Not great. Performance. Oh, yeah, that's good. 20.
20. It's one of those things where at an immediate glance, as you look at it, it looks scattered and unfocused. That's only because you're looking at the dark spots.
Step back from
But as soon as you focus on the lighter, the absence of shadow, where you can see where all the forms are, it's very evocative, and it pops once you can kind of focus on the depth of what's there.
Everyone's
You have
sort
to
of
cross your eyes as 3D.
Yeah.
Everyone's painted in sort of a gothy version of yourself. I mean, there's nothing gothier than
I
you.
look perfect.
But everyone else has a little bit of an edge to them.
And you
Love
just painted this
style.
on Essex wall?
No, I have canvas paper and stuff. Yeah, I have parchment.
I'm
yeah.
into it. I
Have
like
you ever
this.
thought about maybe
becoming an artist? Selling your work?
Oh, I don't know about that. I do this in devotion to my Lord. I wouldn't imagine receiving monetary compensation. But if I did, how much do you think something like this would be worth? Dead?
I don't know.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I would pay it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful. I'm sure your God would be very proud of this work.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's just.
Yes,
set up a gallery and it was like a limited offering.
Yeah.
I mean, rich people love this type of thing, especially if you like do it live at a gala, you know?
And this is dark, but if it is blood, it'd probably go for a lot in the right circles.
God, that makes me unhappy.
The wealthy are insufferable in their interests.
Oh,
cheers.
All right. Well, shall I leave this one with you to put on your wall or in a place of great honor?
Essex like, ooh.
I actually, no, we want to keep this. This is for us.
I think this is important for you all to keep to commemorate this, and it doesn't really go with anything here.
I mean, black and white goes with everything.
But it'll go really well with.
Yeah, no,
I
we-
bet. Yeah.
We'll put it
Do we have
figure it out.
Someday we'll have a place.
Well, we have
where
places to put this. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got,
I'll
Chetney
put it
can
on my
probably
wall.
make a nice frame. I can do some nice like matting around it. You know?
Check, can you make like a wooden scroll case to keep it safe so it doesn't get crushed in the bag holding?
Or a frame?
I mean, why are these questions? Of course I can. Basic shit. I mean, if you want a relief of yourself, I could do that. That's something I could do. But yes, I can make a bitch-ass frame or like a little scroll case, sure.
Oh God, I'm doing the thing I said I'd never do. I'm traveling with fucking artists. How the fuck did this happen? We could do a little. So many of you.
We really could. Yeah. I mean, I could supply the blood.
Many of you.
This is just what I wanted.
Thank you all for making me feel welcome.
Your brother died 3 days ago.
Yeah, thank you.
As here
goes in rolls.
In the darkened morning hours, sharing a final cheer and cup before the rest of exhaustion and sleep takes you with what remnants of the darkened morning still remain. We're going to go to break. We'll be back here in a few
The sun's
minutes.
coming up. We gotta get to bed before our sleep schedules. Fuck.
The sun starts to burn you. Oh no!
We'll be back in a few minutes. We'll see you in a second.
Looking to see how I'm faring in the ocean, far away from what I'd call home. But I'm still with the ocean, and whatever emotion it feels. Oh, look and see how I'm faring in the ocean, far away from what I'd call home. Look and see how I'm faring in the ocean, far away from what I'd call home.
You fought well, princesses. But you didn't think winning the throne was gonna be that easy, did you? No, no, no. Midnight draws on. But this battle is just getting started. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
It It doesn't occur to any of you that the moon is about to fall out of the sky. And why would it? It's just a regular Monday here on the moon. Joe is watching the gigantic wall of darkness inbound. This isn't gonna have transformative, long-lasting, incredibly far-reaching consequences, is it? Unfortunately, it will. We have gathered together a small squad of unlikely chums to seek what perhaps cannot be found.
This is feeling really weird really fast.
I think it's time to go. All aboard? What could possibly go wrong? Such as, for example, the moon literally exploding literally right now.
What's in for you? Helping us.
If there's even the remotest chance that they are still alive, I have to see that through.
It's not about knowing or not knowing. It's about being willing to find out.
Laura Bailey here to guide you through what's new in the Critical Role shop. Roll an investigation if you want. It's basically perfect.
Style should never be a downstat, darling.
You need this?
You probably need this.
This is pretty badass. Could anything be more perfect? I mean, the Traveler always says impulse purchases are a good decision. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing.
Go ahead, darling. Treat yourself.
And hey, if you want, you could head over to the Critical Role shop right now. find yourself dealing with low energy, drowsiness, or boredom?
You may have made a pact with an infernal demon, or you may be suffering from low CR.
Low CR is a common condition that affects between most and nearly all adult humans. Low CR, or low critical role, occurs when human people don't have enough nerdy voice actors in their lives. But now, there's a cure.
I don't let low CR control my life anymore.
Beacon is a non-invasive subscription that provides 24 hours exclusive content each day.
This was when we decided it should look like a gender reveal party.
Early access to event tickets, members-only Discord, 10% off merchandise, and more. Do not take Beacon if you are allergic to Beacon. Consult your familiar if you think Beacon could work for you.
Side effects may include excessive enjoyment, overexcitement, and diarrhea.
Critical Role is in no way a treatment, medication, or anything other than a bunch of nerdy voice actors. Do not watch Critical Role unless you enjoy it. We repeat, we are absolutely not any sort of health anything. To learn more, visit beacon.tv or find it on your app store.
Tomorrow feels a little brighter now that I have Beacon.
And welcome back. So, last we left off, you all went to rest throughout the handful of chambers within Essex abode here in the capital city of Rexentrum. Looking to get a full night's sleep after a very long day. In the midst of your evening's rest.
No,
Are you
come
serious?
on. You're lying.
He's lying.
He's fucking with us.
You continue to rest.
It's so unnecessary. You were jubilant at the break. You don't have to do that.
10 years of this, we're starting to wise into your games.
You're right. I should just destroy you all.
Geladon descends.
Yep.
Oh,
Part
man,
three.
that felt nice to hit that.
I'll find you cross campaign. Spell your essence through your characters.
Yes, long rest, baby.
Get your long rest, friends.
Clean.
That was needed.
Other than a point of exhaustion still.
Oh, bummer.
That's worth
Are we
it.
taking a long rest? Was that what you said?
It happened.
Oh,
It
can,
happened. It happened.
Sometimes it's worth it.
during the long rest, can I go and I'll take the new demon shell armor cloak that we found down in Aor. Do we get rooms? Individual rooms in Essex House?
Oh no.
Not individual rooms. It's not that big.
I can just take a couch anywhere actually. Yeah. And I will attune to the new demon shell.
There are 2 guest bedrooms.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a private room with Laudna for a little bit.
Oh, that's fair.
Fair.
I can stay in the stables.
Fair.
We're having makeup sex.
Yep.
I get it.
Make up sex.
As you attune to the cloak,
Can we RP that?
Chetney.
Look, he's doing it again.
I know.
The thing where.
Now this feels legit though.
As you attune to the cloak, you wear it over your shoulders, and it kind of settles against the shoulders like a mantle and kind of falls down the back.
My muscular shoulders.
Yeah, your rippling.
Wow.
As you feel the magical enchantment itself kind of tether itself to your being.
Oh, that's nice.
The cloak kind of shifts and kind of draws tighter, almost uncomfortably so for a moment. And what was once a cloak begins to wrap around your arm and around your torso, snaking around you, almost like a python that's grabbing and twisting and squeezing, not to the point where it hurts, but just enough where it's uncomfortable and worrying. Your fight or flight begin to kick in, and as you kind of look around with a panicky reaction, you hear all the scales kind of as they slither around your body. Eventually, it comes to a stop, and you look down. And the kind of burgundy scaled texture is now entirely wrapped around your body from like high neck to wrist. Like an odd reddish rust colored bodysuit made up of scaled armor.
But how will you be naked all the time?
What is the werewolf process like?
I know. Does it
Never seen a
expand?
reptilian werewolf?
Does it expand when you turn into a wolf?
You're gonna be like Omar in a turtleneck.
That's true.
It's gonna go full venom and grow its own head.
Okay. And it's visible, right? Like a burgundy scaled.
Aw.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Are we gonna
I'm
get armor
digging
that talks now?
I don't know. I was saying at the break, it feels like this is going to turn into this. Okay, cool. Do I, if I touch it with my fingers, or if I stand up and do like some jumping jacks, do I notice anything?
No sound.
No sound.
The scales of the armor are quiet. They feel almost like a second skin.
Dang.
Rip a fart. See what happens. Does it silence
stay in there?
Oh yeah, just like a bubble go up.
Oh no, it doesn't block farts.
Just traps it in there and travels up.
Gotta squeegee that out.
That's great. Okay, cool.
What?
Can I use my hunter's bane and just do I get any weird vibes from the suit that I attached to my body?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. For
I'm
me.
sure
That would have been clever to do before you.
No, we don't do that.
No.
15.
15. You have advantage technically.
Oh, I'll
since-
take it. I'm sure it'll be much better, even worse.
Okay. There is a slight fiendish essence to this armor.
I mean, it's called demon shell armor. Yeah. I stole
So, yeah.
somebody's prom cloak.
More or less.
Cloak.
So yeah, you are now wearing around you, very form-fittingly, fiendish
shit.
essence. To what ends that might mean, who knows?
Dude, amazing.
But it's with you all the time now, right?
Yeah, I mean, my other clothes will go over it if I choose to wear
If
other
you choose
clothes.
to wear, yeah.
I might just rock out like with my demon cloak out, like a Tron
Did we
figure.
see the outline?
Where it's just like sucking it in where it
Can we
needs to.
see it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kind of walk around a little bit for those that haven't gone upstairs to makeup.
What color is it?
It's a burgundy.
Do you have the bag of holding over your shoulder?
I don't have anything on but just the suit.
Where's that bag?
It's over by my clothes in the corner.
Okay.
It's so tight.
I'll post up on Essex mantle. What color are the fireplace in Essex Place?
That was the fireplace.
Like, does it burn normal colors, or does it have like?
Oh, the fire.
Do y'all throw the little pine cones in there to make it different
No,
flames?
that's,
flame
you
is
do
base.
that with skill, not pine cones.
Okay.
Pedestrian shoes.
I use pine cones. Sorry.
that cost a couple copper where I come from.
Yeah, a standard fireplace flame.
Hey, y'all. New vibe coming out.
Wow.
You notice a little boop right here.
Do you, I mean, like, how far?
Is that comfortable?
This is just for my own personal knowledge. Is it like your wang is just shaking around
No,
and
no,
it's
it's
coated?
tight.
No, I know, but
Is it like you have a dance belt?
Is it
or-
coating your skin or is it like, cupping you?
Well, let's give it a look. I do a cartwheel in front of the fire.
Okay, so it's it does look like, I guess the best way I can describe it, you know, that kind of like that Aquaman kind of like scale mail bodysuit. It has that kind of a texture, but it's like a rusty red burgundy coloration.
And my muscles look a little bigger.
Wow.
Well, we just want to know if we can see the outline of his penis.
Yeah.
Like faintly.
Okay.
Okay, but it's
See a little bit.
But is it down like one leg, or is it?
I
right
always
in
go to the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't hang as low as I was expecting.
Yeah. If I get stuck with it to the right, it's a bad day. So everything feels off.
It's not like Batman Damned, you know. It's not like just like barely out of frame.
Yeah.
Man, damn.
It's giving vertigo.
It's a coming.
Two different shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You ever try to wear two different shoes?
Me?
Yeah.
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 Sometimes.
What do you mean, like,
Wait, why?
different pairs?
Yeah, if you have
Or
like non-matching shoes and try
Oh.
and spend a whole day in those bitches.
It's gonna throw off like your alignment.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah.
I'm not here.
She came down. I guess she got bored.
Oh, I thought this was the morning. Wait, I thought this was the next morning. I guess she got bored.
Give her a little bit. She's rusty.
You came down for some water.
Yeah, it looks good, right?
It's a vibe.
Yeah, I think it's good.
You want to feel it?
I kind of do,
I'm
actually.
gonna give it a
Buck.
flick.
Does it? It's like
adhesive.
No, it feels like armor.
Does it have that thing where if you move your hand backwards against it, it's kind of rough, but the other way is like a smooth texture? Oh, that's weird. I don't like that.
Draw 69 onto your arm.
yeah. He's like a magic sequence.
Just gonna be going up and down for a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't want to
can't
hit
stop.
Yeah.
I
Why
wanna
don't you
hit
go
it.
like get hit?
No, yeah, somebody hit me with something.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna punch him as hard as I can on the shoulder.
Okay, roll attack.
It's not on my face!
Yeah, no, just give him a frog on the arm.
Deck you in the
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
oh,
Oh yeah. It's classic.
Unarmed
terrible roll.
strike?
Yeah, unarmed strike. It's
plus
just
eight.
yeah, I'm strong. Just a 10. Yeah.
Just a 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Misses.
Yeah. Or he hits you, just does
Yeah, it
nothing.
hits me.
I was supposed to say, actually.
Oh.
Does it make any noise? Speak. Anything happen?
I mean, yeah, it feels like an impact, and it has like a metallic impact on it. It just doesn't like normally like heavily, scaled mail like that layered has a lot of sound when it shifts and moves. This has like faintly so, but it still has like metallic impact. So you don't get advantage on stealth checks or anything, but it doesn't give you disadvantage on that.
Definitely not done with this yet. Does it go down to the wrist, like down to here?
Yeah.
Wrist and ankle, basically?
Yep.
Like a
Can it
wetsuit?
be? It's like you're in
Pajamas?
moonshots. Can it be peeled back a little bit?
Does it
Like,
give or is
come
it
up?
on there?
No, it's on there.
All right.
So it's literally like super glued down.
It's like a second skin. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, baby.
Love it.
Chris,
I have a theory it won't come off.
I know this may be demon shell armor, so hopefully you don't object. You object too much?
I don't like it, but if it makes you stronger in battle, I will.
Okay, thanks.
I will see.
What do you do if you have to take a leak in a hurry?
You just have buttons.
I don't know. Maybe if I focus really hard, the scales will.
Yeah.
Try.
Try, but not
try.
here.
All right.
Try, but maybe not here.
Where's the Essex? Where's the pisser?
Glides down the stairs. If you're looking, it's out the back to the side. There's
Back's good enough. I'll just go out the back door and release.
Standing in a patch of green beans.
it just fills the suit.
Oh no! I'm pissing my suit.
Yeah.
Oh no! What? What if I got a shit?
Well, we have our answer.
No.
Do you,
Wait, can you
do
get
you
it
will
off?
do you will an opening?
Yeah. Oh, thank God.
Ew. Oh, fucking gross.
We could use that. that somehow.
Essex, where's your pool? Or fountain, or anything?
If you need the washroom, it's on the second floor.
Oh, shit.
You're gonna dribble all
I'll
the
try
way
and climb the outside.
Roll an athletics check.
That was worth staying awake for.
Natural 20!
29.
With grace and a plume, you climb the exterior of the household. Just to get the high point to look over the hedge.
Sorry.
And an older woman who's like pruning her hedges going. You haven't reclosed the suit, by the way, so you're just kind of flapping there, and she's just like, runs inside.
Ma'am?
You clean yourself off.
Great.
Well, now I'm perfectly happy to go to bed. I'm just gonna go find a room and pass the fuck out. You're all great.
Wait, I thought this was the morning.
Oh, this is the morning. I thought we were like.
Do it again.
I thought we were still awake. Never mind. I'm fine with
No
this.
worries. Yeah, sorry. In my mind, that was like a in the morning when to show off everybody.
Oh yeah, because
everything.
we had to.
So we got a long rest.
Got a long rest. You guys.
And just, how do paladins work? Can I choose new spells every day, or I'm done forever?
No, for paladins, you have.
I don't know how it works.
No, I think you choose what you've got when you level.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, it's been a minute since we had a paladin group. I want to make sure I don't.
You've got new character.
Yeah. Prepared. That means I can unprepare.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you it's just like the other divine like
Yeah,
cleric
otherwise it
elements
would
where
be
you pick in the morning.
Yeah. You're right.
Yep.
Okay.
Imogen and I definitely sleep in. Eventually stumble downstairs before we do anything. I have this amulet that I keep forgetting about that I would like to identify. I stole it off of a dead body in Aor. I apologize. I was in a really weird headspace. But can it help us?
Everything we've owned, basically, we've stolen off a dead body. That's
That's
kind of
true.
how we work.
That's true. That's true.
Ecologically sound.
Okay, so you are identifying it.
I can't identify it, but I'm
Identifier in the house.
There is in one film.
either Fern or Essek.
Yeah, I could give it a go. Unless Essek, you want to do it.
Well, they said before they go downstairs. Are
Oh,
you?
no.
No,
when
I'm
she
coming
comes
downstairs.
Oh, I should come downstairs.
Yeah.
Got it. I see.
Look at that, you're not eating it.
Needs to
Fuck
rehydrate.
yeah.
I know. I don't have any,
Do you have that
desire
thing?
to suck at it. No. It's very pretty.
Oh, that's really nice.
It might get some good wear.
Sorry, I was looking it up. I'm gonna find it. Give me a second. Sorry. I'd forgotten that you had grabbed it.
I am. This is so nice to see you just holding a magical item and no one's having a panic attack. Nah, everything's great.
Everything's normal.
Oh, that's
Like
Yeah.
4 games ago.
I remember.
We just haven't had a minute
Oh,
to
Aor.
Maybe it was just like
identify it
key to
yet.
the-
Maybe it's
It
just
might just
nice.
be. It might just be nice, but
But always worth checking, because especially it's Aor, which means that it's really old and fancy.
yeah.
Aor is
It
great.
holds the key to defeating lewdness.
It is an amulet of false life, I believe.
Oh,
Amulet of false life.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
useful.
I think I'd wait.
Nothing but benign items over here.
Sorry, I'd forgotten that you had that, and I'm trying to figure out where I'd put the information on that.
It's fine. Maybe you should show off some merch.
Nope, I think I have an ID behind.
We have dice.
Do we? Oh
And ours, you can read.
We have tankards.
Oh, amulet of cursed life.
Cursed life.
Go on. Indeed. So you identify it. Actually, Essa can do it. That way you can keep your spell slot.
Okay. Thank you.
As he takes a look at it for a second, and as he finishes like eating his breakfast at the table. All right. Well, if this is someone is wearing this and they cast a spell of a certain level of power, the spell is cancelled and then swallowed by the amulet. If somebody within 5 feet of it casts a spell,
Within 5, you don't even have to be wearing it.
while it's being worn,
Wait.
you or a person within 5 feet casts a 5th level spell. Next to it, the amulet swallows it, and the spell is cancelled.
So it's like a counterspell on a chain, essentially.
Up to 5th level?
Up to 5th level.
But do you control that, or does it just happen automatically?
It just happens the next time.
So it wouldn't be great for a spellcaster, but it could be great for like a martial person who doesn't want to be hit with a heavy spell.
Range.
That could be a use for it, I see, perhaps. But when it does so, it cannot do so for another day.
Okay.
And also, all dead bodies within 200 feet of it are immediately risen as skeletons and zombies and begin to attack the wearer.
I love it.
Begin to attack the wearer.
If you could put that shit on an arrow and be like,
Yeah.
Somebody.
That is
So
the
the
price
point
I'm
is you have
willing
to
to
make
pay.
somebody like
You have to give it. You have to like slip it on somebody else.
trick a mage into wearing it.
That's if one of us could go invisible and put that in the pocket of somebody we were fighting.
But
that
they have
would
to be wearing it, or
Do
they
you
just
have
have
to
to
be
be holding
attuned?
it.
It is not attunement, no.
the ultimate
That's cool.
planting.
Activates it just any 5th level spell?
Any-
Within 5 feet of
Above 5th level or up to 5?
Up
And
to
it doesn't
5th level.
need like a trigger word before that. It's just the first one of the day.
it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Super dangerous.
And you're not attuned to it, so it is meant to be like
An attack.
placed on the spellcaster. So
I like it.
Somebody casts a
Or
first
melee
level
fighter
spell.
is going into.
Somebody casts a first level spell. It absorbs the first level spell and raises all dead bodies within 200 feet of it.
5th level.
That is
spell.
fucked up. No, up to
My
5th.
question is: it the person who has? Is it the person who has the necklace, the gem, or is it the person who casts the spell who gets attacked by skeleton?
The person who has the amulet.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's something that you plant on somebody.
How has that not been triggered by us? You've been carrying that around?
It has to be.
Well, yeah.
It has to be worn when it absorbs
Intentionally worn.
Oh.
Yes.
You can't like put it in
You
somebody's
can't- it
pocket.
can't-
So you have
in
to
a
gift it to
pocket.
somebody and say, "You would look just so beautiful in this necklace."
Right.
That's fucked.
Yeah. When
not
when it is worn, then it absorbs the spell, and then it comes after whoever is wearing it.
Yeah, you'd
It's
have
a
to
trick-
you'd have
it's
to
a
trick
trick
somebody. You
necklace.
couldn't put it in their pocket, right?
You can't plant it on someone's
In
pocket.
theory, you could force it around somebody's neck afterward, but you'd have to put it on them.
Oh, cast a spell, get it on their neck. Zombies come and chase whoever you put it on.
That's a series of unfortunate events.
Well, you could also, like, psychically force them to put it on.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
Rube Goldberg for another day.
That is just, that's nice to know. What a fascinating
So you
little.
could, like mage hand it onto somebody and then like throw a 5th level spell or something.
Or a first level.
It could. The majesty of carefully and discreetly slipping jewelry onto an individual without them knowing why is a time-honored tradition for assassinations. Not that I know anything about that.
What a delightful thought.
Essek, you are cool.
So did the
I
woman,
appreciate that.
the pretty lady that I swiped this off of, is that how she died?
I do not
Maybe.
know. It's a bit late for me to ask
Didn't
her.
she die like she was like her hand
She
reaching
was
out?
like on the ground.
So probably. Oh, that's right. Sheesh.
So to recap,
Yeah.
Ludinus has a movie ball with very potent information.
Which he plans on blasting out to everyone.
Could be happening already and we don't even know it. Next steps. Checking in with higher powers.
Yeah,
I don't
so-
mean gods, I mean,
Keyleth.
yeah.
Letting them know what we discovered in Aor.
I can take you back to the encampment where we first met.
That might not be a bad idea.
Oh, this is interesting. I pull out a rock and I lift it up. Mr. Widowgast, we're at your house with Essek. He's cool. A lot to talk about. Heading to see Keyleth, we think. You okay?
I'm sure Essek can talk to him whenever he wants.
But I did it.
Yeah. To which, a moment later, you hear, "Yeah, I'm a bit sore, recovering from a very long day. glad you met. He is a good man. Don't touch anything that's mine.
Uh-oh. Message over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
He's a good man.
I guess.
Good.
I guess. Also, I guess before we also are heading out, that thing I did yesterday, I've never really done anything quite like that before, and it got particularly weird even for me. I don't know if you have anything here to prod into this, but if you want to, I don't know, if you want to take a look either here or otherwise in what's going on in my head. You're the first person who I've ever met who seems to have the slightest idea of what the fuck this is.
And he starts picking up plates from everyone's finished breakfast and kind of gliding towards the kitchen, like, if we might take a moment in the laboratory, I wouldn't be against having one more look with a more, well, less distracted mind, I would say.
I am okay with that, if everyone else is okay with that.
Take your time.
Yep.
Places him into the washing bin. Leads you down to the laboratory again. And pulls on a few lanterns on the sides. Pulls a chair up with mage hand and goes, just have a seat if you could.
Yeah.
And you say you achieved this through some injury from some sort of dunamantic liquid infusion?
It's still a little scattered. It's hard to remember exactly what happened. There was an object. We were in a robbery, and I fell out of a window. And a friend of mine who's a little bit of, he's very creative. They patched me back up out of whatever was around and possibly whatever hit me, and I was already, there was already a lot going on. I'm kind of made of bits and pieces already.
I think a lot of you seem to be, but yet you make it work, which is curious, if a little dangerous. And you see him kind of flicks the side of the glass with his finger, and a little dunamantic spark goes off the side as it does, like echoes in, almost like mirrors facing themselves. So they just kind of echo further and further and kind of arc away into shadow. At which point you kind of feel the vibration a little bit, and the left eye begins to kind of flicker closed slightly. He puts his hands up, and his fingertips begin to glow, not unlike how he was kind of controlling the threads of the ritual, but this time that like silver gossamer thread is now almost like serpents of energy that begin to press into the glass side of your skull. As they do, they refract. Like they pierce the first layer and spread and refract, and then those pierce and refract again, and it's just this endless fractal space within your head. And you watch as he kind of peers in, and as he begins to pull one hand back to try and withdraw them, you see the reflections go kind of like doors closing behind. As they pull back to the final one, hits the side of your skull. It's almost like the glass side of your head as a window would shatter, but it stays solid, but colors shatter out like window pieces around him and kind of like and stop in middle air as he pulls back and stops in midair as well for a second.
Well, this is new.
Huh. You are something very new.
That was interesting.
Indeed. I've never encountered a being of living dunamis, but there is a part of you that interacts with its energy in a very unique and fresh way that is extremely exciting.
I'm happy to be exciting, honestly. I'm happy to know even the word for this is fucking great. And yeah, even yesterday, it just felt like it was, I don't know, it just feels less and less containable, I guess.
It is hard to contain if you do not understand it, but there is something... A lot of dunamis works within controlled patterns. whether it be through the entropic dissolution of energy of space and time, or the geometric building of forces upon itself in the primordial, fundamental ways that the world and the spaces beyond us all interact. But what you have is something. It is havoc with pattern. It's the only way I can describe it. It shouldn't work. You are a conundrum.
That I've been told. It shouldn't work and a mess. Yeah.
In the best way.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah. I guess I will take whatever advice, be with whatever study, and if I don't know if you have a book or something I can read.
There aren't much in the way of books intentionally. It's meant to be kept. It's meant to be kept from being disseminated to the minds of those who would wish to abuse it. And where I come from, it is a very sacred art form of arcane practice. What I can offer to you is I would like more time when all of this is done, and should we all still be here, to study more of this essence that you are. Reaches into his component pouch, kind of rummages for a second, and then pulls
I'd like
out.
to know too.
Pulls out this small little dark marble, and says, "This is a focal point for a number of dunamantic magics. It is a place where these reverberations begin and can return to. If ever there are times where you feel out of control, where you're afraid of what you could be, and you want to focus that cloud of possibility into something that you can control, use this. Just look at it, and remember, from that, you can return."
Do I get a sense of what does it look like other than?
This looks like a black marble.
All right. Okay.
You'll know when you need to center yourself.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have many more conversations in time, if you'll
Oh,
allow me.
I am sick of not knowing myself. I've had enough.
Fair enough. I'll start getting everyone together and get you to your next destination. Step back upstairs to meet up with the rest of you. Kind of gather in the chambers. He goes and
Bless you.
He gathers the rest of his travel materials and puts on his heavier robe. Casts a quick incantation and takes on the form of Seth once more, his illusory self.
That's right. I almost forgot.
I never
This
do.
guy. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Who's this
This
guy?
is how we first met him.
What does he look like?
Chin beard, chin strap beard.
Blonde hair.
Yeah.
It's a regular guy.
He just looks like a dude.
Deals weed.
Like old, like khaki pants, or like that kind of Seth, or a weed dealer Seth with the hemp necklace.
Like Nickelback Seth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're talking
That dealer Seth. Great.
Yeah.
Corduroys.
The shoe fits.
Chain wallet.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bleach tips.
Sure.
Shit's coming back, man.
Yeah.
Chain
I
wallets?
know.
Damn.
Please cast a spell.
Jinko jeans.
Very well. Let's gather around, and we'll return you to the West Side encampment. To the Hellcatch, friends. He goes ahead. He goes ahead and pulls his incantation maneuvers together, and as he does, he begins to carve into space the various teleportation runes that begin to encircle the rest of you. And within a moment's clap of his hands, you feel the... You all emerge onto another continent. In this space, it is still night. Earlier to later evening. And the ground itself around you is broken and craggy. The immediate smell of smoke and fires around you. As your eyes focus in, you can see the walls have toppled and crumbled, towers destroyed. You can see flames burning and flickering in war-torn piles of ruin around you. You can see shapes moving and skittering or climbing and gathering on the outskirts of what was once the West Side encampment. What do you do?
Instantly, I don't know. Ready our spells, I
What
guess.
kind of forms do we see crawling around out there?
Make a perception.
Yeah.
Mage armor just.
Was it not like this before?
But it's called the Hellcatch Valley. Honestly, so thematic since you've joined us. Yeah.
30. As you're having this conversation, you look in multiple directions and you see beyond this kind of like, it almost feels like an impact crater. It's about 15 feet from end to end here in the ground, the blown up sides of it.
Outside the encampment, you mean?
Outside of where you are right now.
Okay.
You only see about 30 feet from you what looks to be about 10 armored soldiers, wearing some of them what looks like Vanguard attire, but some that are definitively Ryloran. You also look past that and see climbing up over some of the piles and kind of pushing through the rubble look to be 2 enlarged and armored Vidulches. There's a large kind of weird insectoid creature that some of you battled while you were up in Ruidus. Yeah, very kind of like Starship Troopers kind of vibe as it kind of like skitters up and starts pulling back stone, and you hear someone going, no, and it pierces them and lifts them up and throws them to the ground.
This is where Keyleth was? I'm gonna instantly send out a message to Keyleth. It's cast sending.
Okay, what do you say?
We're at the West Side encampment. Are you safe?
That's all you said?
Yeah.
Yes, many of us are. We managed to get many out. We fell back to Vasselheim.
They're in Vasselheim.
And Essek did not come with us, correct?
No, Essek. Oh, no, Essek did come with you. He teleported with you all.
I didn't roll for my staff. I didn't roll to recharge that.
You should do that.
Yeah. That's been.
This is bad. This is really, really bad.
We should get out of here.
You see this dragon-like feet being.
Not glowing good.
Is it? Yeah. Is it Glowmblood?
It's Glowmblood.
I really quick cast Merge with Stone. I'm giving us Pass Without a Trace right now.
Okay.
Maybe we just ask him. Maybe we just ask Dad for help. That's crazy, right?
Yeah,
We're not
I
gonna
think
do
that's
that.
pretty crazy.
No. Thing is your father?
No, writing it. Writing.
I was confused.
If there's
We
something.
should leave. Are there
Some of the-
survivors that we can see?
There are, as you glance around immediately, especially with your perception check, there are what you thought were just like broken parts of rock. You can see now are bodies. There are soldiers who are present here, who have fallen, and they're being kind of gathered and pulled out of the rubble.
And you said so. There's you said there's a crater.
That's what you're all kind of standing in right now.
And that wasn't previously there.
No.
We need to take cover and we need to get the fuck out of here right
Some of the nearby stones off to the side begin to like shift and move as you see the teeth of a slither begin to emerge about 3 feet from where you're standing.
3 feet?
Well, yeah, get us out of here. I've got the staff. Unless.
What?
Vasselheim.
Vasselheim. And he's going to go ahead and cast teleport once again.
No.
An unseen force attempts to disrupt this spell, but fails to do so.
Hey.
As someone goes, wait, over there, they're casting! And a failed attempt at counterspelling the teleport. You all immediately arrive somewhere else, landing the smell of ruin and blood and fiendish victory still kind of lingering through your nose as you all emerge, your feet sinking into some cold and somewhat damp earth. The temperature is immediately chiller.
We were barely gone.
Keyleth's alive.
Here? She's here?
She said they retreated to Vasselheim. Is that where we are?
Yeah.
You take stock of where you're standing, and here in the night sky above you, you can see the stars, not unlike the sky that you had just seen in the Hellcatch. You can see, however, the tangled web of glowing, multicolored ley lines are extremely dense here. They are gathered in a knotted nexus above where you stand, and you can feel that kind of buzzing pressure of wild, condensed, magical possibility that sits in this space. In this space where you stand, you are surrounded by tall pine trees that all kind of carry a dusted white of a recent snowfall. The ground itself is covered in snow and chunks of ice with exposed like earth and mud where it looks like casual footfalls, hunters, or those who travel have walked through. And just beyond the tree line from where you stand, about maybe 20 or so feet, you can see the outside of a stone wall. A very, very tall stone wall.
Just a stone wall perimeter, or is there a gate anywhere to the left or the right?
From where you're standing, you can't see anything. It's mostly just dense trees. But as you kind of step towards the wall and kind of break the tree line, you see that there is a large double gate, like 45-foot tall, thin double gate, heavily reinforced. Off to the left, about 50 or so feet. And there are a few individuals that look like they're kind of waiting in a very short line with a number of armored guardians that kind of sit at the front gate.
Let's head that way.
Yeah.
I always heard that Vasselheim was like the city of the gods. If this is what we wanted is to commune, this would be the place, right?
We're also going to be on high alert because when we were here, not here, but on this continent, they were pretty heavy forces from here.
This is going to be difficult, I think.
I'm taking out some paint, and I'm just gonna redo this symbol into like a
law bearer.
Oh, I'm gonna go Dawnfather with like a big sun, like a black sun.
Cool.
Something.
Yeah. That's convincing.
Make a performance check.
Cocked?
Performance or deception, I'd say, for this one. What do you prefer?
Okay. Well, I'll take deception then.
I'm about to say, because in that instance, it's you trying to pass this off as a different symbol. I'll say I'll let this fall under deception if you'd like it.
Technically speaking, you can.
For my
buy yourself
guidance?
23.
Okay.
Well,
It actually, like, clean lines. It looks, at a passing glance, an intentional bit of script and design on the armor. Not bad.
I can never just draw a circle without a thing. That's really impressive.
You have to practice. Just do it in one fluid movement.
Oh. Fuck.
I'll teach you later. Do you always go to 4 continents every day?
Yep.
Kinda. Not every day, but many days. Are we just gonna approach the gate, or should we try to phone a friend again?
We are currently also stealthed to all heck, so it's up to us.
Last time we were here, that was when we came upon the town who had been oppressed by a bunch of soldiers and acolytes from the Dawnfather.
Keith's here? Is that what you said? Is that why we're here?
Is here, along with some of the survivors.
Is there a way we can let her know so we could get in?
I can send her another. So I will cast sending again to say, we've landed outside the city. Where can we find you?
Can't talk much right now. In a council meeting. You should come within the sanctuary. The Platinum Sanctuary.
I'll redo it.
Platinum Sanctuary.
Okay, so you relay
Yes.
to the gates then.
The gates.
They're in a council meeting. She said. I don't know. I don't want to waste our spell to find out.
Let's go.
You see, Essex like, I've only been to the outskirts of this city. I've not actually been within, so I'm both terrified and extremely curious.
Is it scary in there?
I don't know, I've not been within. I've only delivered individuals to and from for the voice and the rest of the gathering of powers. So,
might be now or never.
I suppose so.
If you're ever confused, just say, I'll pray on it, and then they'll usually leave you alone. Divine people are simple.
Right, understood.
I'll pray on it. Aren't you divine?
Yeah, but we don't do that sort of thing. We have things.
So you get closer to the gates and you can see the line of folk here. They all look to be anxious refugees, people that are like seeking entry. And you can see there are remnants of what looks to be a number of tents and ramshackle homesteads that likely were built and abandoned recently as likely an influx of refugees in the face of the apogee solstice meant that they had to be careful who was let in and how quickly. As some of the people look like they're probably from outskirts of the region of Othanzia, some of them wearing whatever scraps they could to fight off the cold weather with maybe not a lot of time to hit the road and come here, undernourished, eager to enter. You see some of the bastions of Vasselheim, the kind of patchwork put together hides and armored figures that have some elements of uniform, but most of it is cobbled from what is useful and marks each member of that group for their own persona. Arriving and speaking to each of these refugees with empathy but diligence, asking them questions. You also notice that there is a strange burning smell that lingers through the air here, different from the recent smells of warfare that briefly greeted you when you arrived in the Hellcatch but a moment ago. A different sort of burn, an older, weirder burn.
Like a sulfuric burn?
No.
Like
not bodies.
Maybe a little bit.
I get unlimited sendings.
But it's different.
A little bit.
Smelling bodies.
Unlimited.
It's the closest you can point to, but it doesn't smell like a burning dead body necessarily. And unfortunately, a smell you are familiar with.
like funeral pyre.
Smells like something burning.
Well,
You can make a perception check if you'd like.
Can I do a general? I mean, we're at the front gate, so
Yeah.
We're gonna know in a minute now.
Can I put out a 60-foot ping for fey fiends or undead?
Sure, yeah. So go ahead and roll.
What did you say to roll for?
Perception.
Why not?
19.
19. You don't sense anything nearby beyond yourself. You smell strongly of fiend with your new armor. You're still getting used to it. Like it almost sets off where it's like it takes you a moment to kind of feedback to get used to that layer on top of what you're used to sensing, which also means that you might show up as fiendish to others, also seeking.
Oh, especially here.
Yeah, you got to explain it when you go through the TSA. It's okay.
It's just armor. It's just
I have a card.
What would you roll?
17.
17. This is a smell you know. It generally is the burning of something that was once living, but long past its living era. This is the burning of fetid flesh, the burning of ancient flesh. This is the burning of risen and re-slain bodies.
So a little bit, once again, like Chetney smelling his own BO. Like I recognize that undead smell.
Hey.
Yes, that is smell of bodies, but like earthened bodies. Wondering if they had some sort of an
Uprising?
Undead uprising. Yeah.
We need to catch up and fast.
All right.
Yeah, let's rip the bandage off. Orm starts towards the gate.
Yeah. You were good talkers. You look pretty.
Me? Thank you.
Yes.
As you walk towards the guard, there are about 5 people, or 5 groups of people waiting there. And as you kind of push past, like a couple of people go, hey, we've been here a minute.
I don't want to push back past it, buddy.
Okay, so you want to wait?
I just got close.
We have urgent business. We push past.
They get one look at you and do not argue. One of the bastion guards looks up. Can I help you?
Yeah, we've been sent by the voice of the Tempest. We're supposed to meet her at the sanctuary.
She's expecting us.
Roll persuasion.
So before we even approached, after getting that ping, I kind of cover myself with scarves.
Did you give me guidance to talk to anybody?
No. Guidance?
Did you?
No.
I did just right now.
I'm going to say no.
16.
16. That's not bad.
Okay.
Very well. It's a bit crowded. I do not know where the Tempest is, but I know that she arrived very recently. Many did at her and others' behest.
Maybe just point us to the sanctuary.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, it's 21. My bad. Thank you.
You did great.
You did great. Also, give me some candy. I don't know.
Why do I also say your hair looks gorgeous? Looks you over a bit, kind of scans through, still kind of like.
I show my chest a little wider, and
of course,
just give him a nod. Mm-hmm. We obey the law. Shit, I'm flailing here. I'm flailing.
Shut up. In your head, in his head, he just hears, shut up.
May justice be done. A little rusty with the honor and the justice thing.
May we go in?
It's Naomi.
Yes, you are here on important business. My
Yes,
apologies. I'll be right with you. Kind of gives a whistle up, and the gates begin to open up slightly on one side. Points the Heaven Stair Mountain back that way. The center to the north side of the city. The sanctuary you can see is along the stair to its top. You can see the flames within the torches from here. And he points over and you can see, as you glance in, this is a majestic sprawl of a city. It is awe-inspiring as this rolling expanse of buildings and structures, but they carry a deep, humble, old-world feel woven in with layers of battlements and defensible walls that just ring inward. Incredible towering temples scattered throughout of unique shape and design here that the moonlight of Katha and the glow of the nexus beams and kind of ominous of the ley lines above kind of shaping the outline of this ever changing and shifting skyline from layer to layer as it pushes inward up to the rising mountain of the Heaven Stair. You can see kind of up each side of the mountain there are plateaus that rise up with different sections of city. And atop one, kind of towards the center point of this mountain as it rises up, you can see a temple where a bright kind of interior warm glow that he points to says, that is the sanctuary you seek. Bit of a walk, but good luck.
City's safe. I couldn't help but smell the fire on the air.
Safe. Now, yes. We had an issue with the dark bloom, but it's been dealt with.
Do we know what that is?
Yeah, it is dark blue.
That's what he says. As he points back, and you see what he's pointing to at the mountain, and you realize the mountain you're looking at is actually two things. The mountain shape where it is exists, but you can see it through what looks like an archway, a massive stone archway. And then as you refocus yourself, it's a towering humanoid shape of rough stone. And then you realize this is standing hundreds and hundreds of feet tall. In the center of this city is an incredibly gargantuan humanoid elemental titan, a stone earth titan, a great primordial entity from the ancient days of Exandria, still looming, its forearms swung side to side, and throughout many pockets or cavern-like holes of its towering structure you can see little glimmers of torchlight, like it itself has become a smaller city within the city.
Wow.
They moved in.
It's in Vasselheim?
It's in the walls of the city and above it.
That's so cool.
Wait, did they move it
How'd they
in?
move
Into
it
this?
in?
They moved it? They are. They
Stopped outside
They,
of the
they
city,
built,
right?
I assume they built around it.
Yeah, they probably
expanded.
expanded. And now there's torchlight and stuff coming out of different.
That's sick.
I want to go to there. Here we go.
Is it still frozen in the pose that it was?
Mid-stride.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, that's so cool.
Rad.
You also notice on the closest battlements as you step in amongst the burning smell, some of the shapes of swinging in the wind, what look to be these small miniature like towers or poles that hang from them, these cages. What looks to be gibbets, these human-sized metal cages that are occupied with your high passive perception. Indeed, you do see people emblazoned in Vanguard colors hanging within.
Alive or dead?
Very dead.
Find out.
Okay.
They are like slumped in and dangling from within the cage.
And wait, what did you say? The dark bloom? The what bloom?
He mentioned the dark blue.
But we don't know what that is.
Indeed.
No. And then, just from our previous time, do we see any of those face-plated, armored judicators wandering the streets or up on the walls or in any sort of posts that we can
From where
see?
you stand now, no. But also, you've just entered the city.
Yeah, okay. None at the gates, though. None like...
None at the gates that you can see.
Okay. That's interesting.
So.
Shall we head to the
Yeah, we
sanctuary?
can sate our curiosity about that thing later.
Yeah.
Let's get to the sanctuary.
As we're walking to the sanctuary, can I just take Essex's hand as we're walking and say in his head, "Thank you. I didn't get a chance to say it earlier, but what you've done for us is immeasurable."
And it takes a minute and responds in kind. I wish I could say it was purely altruistic, but I'm still working to burn the rest of the guilt off my soul. So, thank you all for being the bastions of goodness that you are. You know, in the face of acknowledging how complicated each one of us is.
Well, I don't know what you did in your past, but can't say I'm not grateful that brought you here.
Whatever little bit can help. As you step through the winding streets, and you can see like this kind of outer region that kind of encompasses this towering Titan element. A lot of it does feel like a freshly built expansion to the city. That in recent years, as it's a slow influx of populace, it's had to make space for that. And as you kind of step beneath this towering entity, you can see the numerous chains and pulleys and resource elevators that pull materials and people up into it. Can hear even in this evening hour the hammering of metal and cracking and chiseling of stone. Whatever this is, maybe a massive sculpture. But some of you with some historical knowledge, especially you who know very well what this
Listen
is.
to the stories.
Indeed, and can share that knowledge with the group as you pass by. The Whispered Ones plot, but 30 years before, a newborn god from the stolen rights of the Matron of Ravens rose up to become the only god on this plane and was foiled and sealed away by a heroic group of figures known as Vox Machina, of which the voice of the Tempest once belonged. This towering entity, drawn from a long dead chasm beneath the ground, risen through necromantic power unimaginable to walk once more, and then left here once more, lifeless, as a reminder of dark times and the hope that lies even at the edge of darkness. And as you walk beneath these arms and legs, you can see gardens planted along its many shelves, where winter flowers bloom. A number of snowdrops seem to coil up alongside its legs. You can see miners carrying materials from within. It's become part of the landscape. Continuing inward, you can take note of the various bastions that are keeping a close watch, and try as you might, a few times you are clocked and followed. But most upon seeing your definitive Ashari attire, tend to splinter off shortly thereafter. You begin to smell the haze of smoke getting stronger, and as you pass within a further interior region, you step into an area known as the Dusk Meadow.
Dusk Bowl? Dusk Meadow?
Dusk Meadow. This, a sector of the city, looms with less consistent light. The street side lanterns and torches and braziers that keep the evening an easy to live and see and experience space here falls more solemn and quiet. There is a perpetual stillness to this space, and those that walk through here seem to walk with a quickness. And you're hard-pressed to not have your eyes catch an incredible structure along your path. What looks to be a massive Gothic cathedral that looms over the rest of this region. Its tall, pointed spires, its architecture, reminiscent of one such temple of much more modest means, where some of you had had a brief vision with the Matron of Ravens. The air of this space definitely carries her scent, her energy. And as you all walk past, up towards its peaks, dozens of ravens scatter and call out to the night.
Orm lags for a few feet and just stares, ogling the place, smelling the bodies on the air. Shakes his head and catches up with the group.
The smell is getting stronger. And it's as you're about to leave this district to the next, you see these pits where you can see the charred remains of numerous undead have been burned and left to rest. And you can see there are a few bastions that just kind of keep watch at the exterior. One of them kind of nods as you pass by.
I'll actually go over to one of the bastions, the guards.
Sorry, we've just arrived. What happened?
This is a recent thing called the Dark Bloom that had occurred. And the solstice came and all of this. He points up towards the tangled ley lines that are all gathered here. We keep many of the dead of the city throughout history through the endless catacombs beneath Vasselheim. And many of them awakened all at once.
Matron must have been pissed.
Raven's Crest has been busy with their funeral rites a second time.
They all came from below. I know a little bit of the history. Was there any activity up there? And I point towards the Titan's form.
Oh, God's preserve us, no, thank goodness. That would be a nightmare. And you see in his eyes there's a little bit of recollection as this older soldier, this bastion of the city, seems to recall a time where perhaps he may have seen it walk. Anyway, it seems the tides have come to a close in recent week, and for now many of us rest. But we still keep vigilant watch just in case. Should anything that shouldn't be walking walk, please come tell someone immediately.
Of course. So this didn't happen all at once. This was a wave? Just kept happening?
Well, it takes a little bit of time for thousands of our ancestral dead to climb through the caverns. We have them sealed for now. So perhaps in time we can deal with the rest, but there's no confirmation of how many have risen.
That's a whole other video game level.
That is who is down there.
Save your game before
They haven't been passed through this archway. Just down there?
For now.
Okay.
Has anyone spoken of the cause, or?
Best that we know is numerous strange magics have come unraveled in the face of the solstice, while others with less than altruistic plans have used it to their dark ends. I myself am not really of a... He kind of like gestures to his armor. Of a high enough station to know the true ends and means of such mysteries, but what I know is the city is shaken.
Thank you.
Of course. You continue past the Dusk Meadow into the outer region of the Silver Talon's Reach. You briefly passing through the quad roads, and you pick up amongst the populace of the city, very much huddled in mass in spaces where food is being passed out by bastions and other volunteers. There are hurt soldiers from the city and beyond. You have visions of wounded individuals wearing the armor of Marquet, of Ankarel. You see figures wearing the symbols of what looks even like the Dwendalian Empire. You see figures that definitively bear the look of a less grayed, snow-dappled region. Here, the people of Vasselheim becomes more worldly, and what you gather to mean a number of people who fled from your previous encampment and possibly others. Here you see the sight of recovering wounded.
Have we left the gibbets behind this far in, or is it still a presence?
Every now and then it's still a presence. Passing through these crowds, you head into the Silver Talon's Reach. And in this district, you see all manner of humble huts and tents and abodes that all carry symbols of the Platinum Dragon. You see the altar is left to the street, as well as the majestic temples that themselves are very open and wide, where folks are gathered to pray. You sense the fear of the populace. These times are tenuous for everyone in Exandria. But this is a city where those who question tomorrow put their hands in the faith that's guided them so far. And so where some of the streets may be less busy, places of worship are deeply crowded. And you can hear the echoes of psalms and group prayers kind of drifting from street corner to street corner. Eventually you come to the base of a massive silvered gate, to where beyond that, an endless stair of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of steps that climb up along the now rising base of the Heaven Stair Mountain.
In case you weren't exhausted before, Ashton.
Yeah, everybody ready for leg day?
Is there like an elevator or something?
I'm gonna use a sorcery point, and I'm just gonna
It's always leg day.
raise up, just like Essek does.
Rise up.
Rise up.
Rise up.
Feel the embrace of havoc.
Okay.
I'm gonna just transform my body a little bit.
You watch as...
chin strap beard?
Yeah, just a chin strap beard. I'm gonna just look
did-
like another Seth.
Describe to me how your form, if at all, visually shifts as you take this step into your form of havoc.
Just a subtle, like, it's almost like static electricity. So my hair and my dress kind of flare out a little bit more. And my eyes again glow white. And my whole body, the lightning marks up my body, just instead of just glowing, they kind of like flicker, almost like as it's surging up.
Very
Yeah.
good. As you kind of approach the gates from the exterior, you can, I mean, it is heavily guarded, and there are soldiers and warriors from all across Exandria here. You can see them stoically keeping watch over the perimeter. And at the gates at this point, looks like about 7 or 8 bastions take note of your approach with, with purpose as you step up. 2 of them kind of to the spear front approach. You're not allowed near the sanctuary at this time. There is council still in order.
We've been
Understood.
called. Sorry.
No. We're expected.
We're here.
One within expects us. If you could get word to the voice of the Tempest, to Sir Fintaldori.
One of the soldiers that rushes over, you can see, is wearing Marquesian armor, specifically from the wilders that guard Drusar. And you can see this figure kind of steps forward and kind of gives a nod. Is this what? You may enter. And they kind of open the gates slightly to permit you all through. And though you haven't spent a lot of time with the various soldiers that have been part of the encampment that was attacked, some of you you especially have good memories for faces, and you recognize a few. Some bandaged, some just a little worse for wear, some just looking tired, kind of make eye contact with you as you all pass and kind of give a nod of acknowledgement.
We are very memorable.
You are very memorable, but you are all also being walked and accompanied by very high-up members of multiple different political councils there at that encampment. So there was a respect scattered for those of where there is recognition, though others still seem to eye you all with from curiosity to a careful eye placed upon you as you walk. And as you walk through the gates, indeed, about 20 or so soldiers begin to ascend the steps behind you. You're uncertain if it's an escort or a precaution. But you begin to ascend the stair here in the chilled night air. The temperature is quite cold at this point, and thankfully you still have your Isocross attire with you, and so you've probably bundled up with your cloaks and furs. As you step up through the stair, you can't help but be taken by the incredible view that begins to spread out below you. You can see the incredible expansiveness of the Dawn Cradle, the city, the beginning of mortal civilization here on Exandria. The first city built under the guidance of the gods. Here, beyond the multitudes of walls and expansive civilization, beyond that you can see the timberland that fills the valley that surrounds before the mountainous regions climb up and surround it like a curtain swallowing the horizon. You can see the shapes of the evening birds occasionally coasting through the darkened sky, the faintest shift of the ley line threads. You swear you can feel them kind of thrum and rotate it if you just watch close enough for long enough. Beautiful as it is ominous.
What's our height level in relation to the Titan's eye level?
The first 100 or so steps, and you also been like this part of the city kind of comes at an incline because it's kind of begins to become the mountainous region. You're still about waist high. It is a very big entity. But you can see all the hundreds and thousands of little flickers of life and light throughout the city beneath you. From this height, you can just, before the mountain kind of breaks off your view of part of the districts, you can see one region of the city that is just overgrown with lush forest and trees that kind of rise above the walls. You can see one massive tree that kind of rises above the rest. And you have heard tale of this location, known as the Abundant Terrace, a locale that Keyleth has made pilgrimages to over the years. While you've not been one to escort her there, you have heard the name before. And this is the region where the Wild Mother, the main temple of the Wild Mother, holds influence.
Are we passing it or moving through it?
You see it down below as you're heading up the stair, and you have a view of the city before like the mountain fully cuts off your perspective of the other side of the city. You see it there.
Is there still a massive tree there?
Yeah.
I throw out a silent prayer to the Wild Mother and thank her for being with us to help our friend. Turning to Bryce.
I wish I had an apple.
Is this you hoping something will manifest?
I can't help but look at one of those temples and not think about exactly what I just saw.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to not just see that this whole city is a city. This is a temple to Hebris. They're building in this thing that if it woke up, they're living in it. It's just madness.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to too.
As you continue up the stair, it begins to wind at a slight curve as other soldiers kind of walk past and kind of give a nod, looking past you to the soldier escort behind for acknowledgement before continuing downward. As it curves upward, you become to the base of this incredible structure. You can see it has kind of rising points of beautifully smooth stone, like cerulean gem or polished marble sections of it that almost push out like sails to the front that come to extended points. You can see heavy, tall pillars that mark archways that enter within it. Both looks like a Sydney Opera House, like rising rooftop art piece that is expansive and mighty, built upon almost like a Grecian forum of tall pillars that arch over, and an endless series of smoothed, reflective marble tiles that denote the interior of it. There are even more soldiers gathered around, and what you can see are banners risen up and kind of gathered on the outside. There are small tents built in the exterior. It looks to be like a garden or a terrace that kind of sprawls around it with all manner of small trees and bushes. And you can see on these banners there's the the crown and owl of the Dendalian Empire. You can see the crest of the Taldori Council. You can see the symbol of Ankarel. You can see the symbol of the Clovis Concord of the Menagerie Coast. Essek freezes up and falls back a bit. Friends, I think this is where our journey ends. And you catch his eye line to a banner, and what you see on the banner, this kind of grayish tint to it. And it looks to be a dodecahedron symbol with like a figure 8 drawn through it.
The dynasty's in the house.
Yeah, you can't ever go back.
Past caught up with you?
On occasion it does. Well, I do not think this will be the last time we meet, but for now it has been an honor and a pleasure.
We'll see you again.
Look forward to it.
If we wanted to reach out, how would we do that?
You're clever. I think you'll find a way. Besides, this one can talk to my boyfriend, so...
Got him on speed dial.
Thank you.
Thank you, Essek.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a fun day.
Oh, what a day.
Longest day ever.
Wow. Just a
Has it
day
been a
with
day?
Essek?
Yeah, it's just been
Most interesting
Like
day
2
of
days
my
with
life.
Essek, that's
Couple days.
Yeah, a couple
We
days.
slept
Couple
2
days.
3 days. Tops.
Essek kind of looks to you and says, "Be careful, you're a heartbreaker." And turns around
Ooh.
and begins to glide down the stairs. Other soldiers kind of like crowd up a bit, and he kind of like gives a hand motion, and they all kind of separate and let him pass as he descends back down the stairs.
I'm telling his boyfriend.
Heartbreaker over
It's just
here.
flirting. You can look at the menu as long as you order from home.
You also know Caleb's predilections, so.
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Dead.
Wrote it that way. Come on.
As you begin to step within the sanctuary, you can already hear the echoing sound of raised voices. Not shouting, but definitive, strong arguments. The echoing at this distance is so scattered that you can't quite make out the words, but many faces turn as you enter. The crowd is dense at a certain point. You have to begin kind of pushing through the crowd. Some figures kind of move past, kind of holding their nose up to you. Others kind of, hey! But you know there is an important intent in arriving at this place, to the Tempest's voice.
Roughly how many people are here? Is it like a Senate meeting in Britain where there's like...
You don't have enough perspective from where you're standing. The crowd is high. It's like stepping into the outside of a concert. So you can see heads, and you know there's something happening beyond, and you can hear it, but you're not quite able to push. Yeah, so you're pushing through the crowd. A heavy hand. Let's say, who's guiding this, by the way? Who's pushing through first?
I'm pretty short.
It should be you're the one that knows now. I mean, I'm flying, or hovering at least, and glowing. But
Tell you what, I'm fine. I led the way from Fern's shoulder.
Got it.
So that I can be spotted.
I'll be behind them.
Okay, great. You're pushing through the crowd, and some soldiers are starting to look at each other. People are starting to have that concerned look of who are these people pushing through? Fern, a heavy hand grabs your shoulder.
I see this
heavy,
and I put my
stone
hand
fingers
on the weapon just in case.
Some fingers grabs excuse me, just who do you think you are? And you kind of glance around and see this tall, incredibly muscular, older-looking half-giant. Tattoos on his body, massive black, gray-streaked beard.
Oh my
He's just holding you there and says, "Were you invited?"
We work directly for the voice of the Tempest out of Zephyra.
Hold on. You say you know the voice?
No.
Do we have a problem here, friend?
Do we?
I don't know. Do we?
I've been looking for a fight over.
Me too.
Wait. Hi. We're supposed to be here. How are you?
I'm okay.
My name is Professor Emperor.
Professor Emperor.
Fern Talbot.
It's like a venture villain.
Yeah.
Professor Emperor.
We're here to see the voice of the Tempest.
See, the problem is, I happen to be very close friends with the voice of Tempest, and I don't know who you are. And I was told to throw out anybody who we don't know.
We have an appointment.
Well, we met her at
He's like
Westside.
pushing Fern out of the crowd. Like,
This was a personal bodyguard of hers.
a voice goes, "Wait!" He says,
What, do you know them, Peggy?
and it's,
We're going full.
and for those of you that were in the brief visit in Whitestone, you see Pike Trickfoot in full Everlight.
Oh, there's someone that we know her. We know her.
Grog, I know them. It's okay. It's like,
I didn't know that. Just tell me if we're having guests next time. Good day.
Good day. Good day.
he's got a little gut.
Muscle. Yeah, muscle.
Where's the well?
Are you like Fat Thor? Are you like
No.
I know, he's just got like,
just a little beer belly?
yeah, he's like the point where the belt of dwarven, fortitude on his belt, like there's a little like overlap.
It's solid under there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a weight belt that like was bought, 30 years ago.
It's not fancy. You can still get it on.
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit peeking out the top and bottom.
That's just power.
That's what the power is. My tum-tum.
Well, if you're friends of Pikey, you're friends of mine.
And Pike goes like, Keela said that she was expecting you. They're in a bit of a discussion right now. Grog, could you? And he goes, right away, move it! And like pushes people aside. The voice kind of looms out a little bit, and the chatter in the room, as it echoes through, kind of stops for a second. And as you kind of see through the crowd, there is a, lowered in the middle of this massive forum chamber, there are a number of chairs and places, and you can see there are, what was a forum room meant to maybe facilitate a few dozen people conversing is deeply overcrowded now. There are multiple soldiers and associates and representatives and people from all over. You see there is an elven figure in long silver and blue robes that seems to be sitting on the kind of the highest of the thrones here, probably a representative of the sanctuary itself. You see in kind of long red, like sleeveless robe that kind of dangles past their chair, the incredibly intimidating Earthbreaker groom that you had met previously, kind of sitting arms on the side of his particular chair.
But it was just the same.
You see what looks to be this incredibly dressed like half-elven woman with a massive cluster of white and golden hair that kind of falls past her shoulders below in abundant leaf-covered robes, who looks to be sitting upon a particular throne that iconography-wise resembles the Wild Mother. You can see there are numerous seats here that are placed to represent various pantheon temple heads, and they are all filled currently, and then throughout them are numerous other seats. You see for the matron's representation here, not a single seat but three. You see three women in dark black veils that cover their faces and robes that all kind of sit as a trio. You see sitting at a number of the other chairs a very tall, kind of gender fluid looking figure with darker skin, long black hair, and simple attire with eyes that burn like coals.
Oh, shit.
You see a figure dressed in white and silver intricate robes with shoulder armor that curl upward at the edge. You see her with a crown that has three curved ibex-like horns that curve back behind, and the darker lavender skin of what looks to be a dark elf figure, and a number of guards at her sides that wear a chitinous, like insectoid, dark metal armor that looks terrifying as it does unique. You see Allura and Kima, who you have met previously, sitting amongst the crowd that make eye contact with you, and you can see an elation come over their face. And a number of other figures that you don't recognize. You do recognize those two. You see a dwarven woman in royal attire, or at least you recognize them. Those of you who are in the Wildmount Split crew recognize Queen Fernast and King Talviel of Uthadern are also present at this council. This is a gathering of Exandria present.
Everyone is here.
And as Grog has pushed past the crowd and kind of gave an opening in that one moment, all of Exandria looks to you. And that's where we're going to end.
So much you have learned shit!
Nope.
Oh, he's so dumb.
He's so dumb.
He can write a little now.
Yeah, he can.
Pike's been teaching him.
He distinguished.
He just
Grand Poobah himself.
Yeah.
I really thought he was going to respond to Professor Emperor.
I did too.
I was
I was
really-
like, well, let me give him a long title. So
Yeah.
He was a little confused by it at the moment.
Good boy.
What a good boy.
Wowzer.
He was doing his job.
He was given a task, yeah.
Yeah. So much happened in this game.
Yeah, this has been a big first day for me.
Yeah, dude, you got thrown into the deep end.
In this game, in this 24 hours,
Wow.
and we don't know what happened here.
No.
Yeah.
Sure.
And boy, do we know some stuff they're not gonna like. Boy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, well, we'll see where this gathering continues next time. But until then, thank you so much for joining us. We love you very much, and it's a Thursday.
Oh, man, what
Holy
We are
shamoly.
surrounded by level 20s. Brace, if you say the
Yeah.
wrong thing, we're gonna get smoked.
I know.
I'm really good at lying. my only thing that
Sam, I'm talking about
gotta-
Reyes.
Do you have to? The dynasty is here.
Maybe
The bright.